to the captain's quarters.
As long as you can see mine, Tommy, that's all I care about.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Well, anyone else that wants to hear it.
Wow. This guy gets affiliate, all of a sudden he's better than everyone else.
Jesus Christ. Okay, fucking John Lennon over here.
Yeah. Probably bigger than him, if we're being honest.
Yeah.
Whatever, dude.
Yeah.
Are we just going to keep that in?
Why not?
Little banter.
Banter.
It's the best way to open.
Right. Yeah, we're just going to fucking hard open this. Welcome to the Captain's Quarters, episode 6. We made it a month and a half of podcasts.
Woo!
We did it,
boys. It's been a struggle.
We got over the month slump. We got over the episode 5 cliff, and we're here.
Welcome back.
As always, we're here. Was this back to back? Same crew?
Yeah.
Hey, we did it. We
Same
did
crew.
it. Yes.
Consistency.
I don't think that's ever happened.
Wow.
Give ourselves a pat on the back for that one.
We get all kinds of helmet stickers on this episode.
Did you say Al Qaeda?
Yeah, Al Qaeda stickers.
We got Al Qaeda
Definitely getting Al
helmets.
Qaeda stickers. It's okay. Al Qaeda stickers for everybody.
You know, love or hate them, their outfits look great though. But we're here with Captain Milne. We got Cattle Pleasure there, or Kalen. On the other side of him, you got a guy that doesn't even have ray tracing.
I'll just leave. Jesus Christ. Don't make fun of me, Internet.
It's okay. I don't have ray tracing either.
Right. You might recognize him from the Mystery Machine. It's TF Ocelot or David.
Mr. Oh, I get it.
Yeah, Shaggy. Yeah,
Whenever
you should
the
probably
green
play
shirts,
as
man,
Shaggy sometime, dude. Absolutely.
Everyone always calls me Shaggy. Like if they don't know me and they're like, "Hey, Shaggy," I'm like, "All right, bud." Like,
I'd be a little offended by that.
Well, I mean, I do look like Shaggy. I'm not going to argue with him. I'm wearing a green shirt. I'm like, all right, fine.
Yeah, you especially look like Shaggy right now.
Hell of a cosplay.
Yeah,
cosplay every day.
You should get the mystery fan on the green screen behind you for sure.
Mystery Machine, but okay.
That's what I said. Mystery Machine.
You said Mystery Fan.
Oh, whatever.
You just said correctly the first time.
And then we have Crash Carl or Ryan,
AKA Cum Carl.
AKA Cum Carl. Oh wow! Listen to that. He's 4 albums in on ICP. And he's already given himself rap nicknames.
Yeah,
it's starting.
It's only a matter of time before the makeup starts like slowly appearing on his face.
Working down my face.
Ryan's stream is now sponsored by Fago, so
I'm fine with that.
You think ICP is solely propping up Fago?
yes.
Yeah.
I'd say easily 15 to 20% of Fago sales go to.
Well, here's the funny thing is that the owner of Fago is not a fan of the ICP. He's not. I was actually watching. Do you guys know Nardwar? He's a really weird interviewer on YouTube. He was interviewing ICP, and he was asking him. He's like, "So I heard the owners that he doesn't like you very much." He's like, "Yeah, he's an old fuck, but as soon as he dies, it's like his son though. He's like, he's all about it. We're gonna start doing some collabs."
Oh my god!
I was like, "All right."
You're
the guy's son. They're just talking shit about your boomer dad just dying, and you know what? Fuck yeah! Oh my god!
There was an ICP concert in Austin not too long ago, and they posted a bunch of pictures of the aftermath online, and literally like the whole floor of the venue was just covered in like empty Fago bottles.
Yeah.
It was crazy. It was like
I went to the Masquerade and saw them there. It was Attila and fucking Insane Clown Posse. Oh, dude, I literally left dripping Fago from my body. We hid. We hid in the rafters. They bring out, those giant-ass pallets of 2 liters that they have at, like, Walmart? Yeah. They brought out 6 of those and used every single one of them. I'm surprised, like, Masquerade, they were, like, bottles, like, wedged up on the ceiling next to the speakers and shit.
That's awesome.
I'm imagining Fago to be an orange fizzy drink.
No, it's literally off-brand Diet Coke.
Oh, that's really
There's lots of different flavors and stuff.
It's a Dollar General soda.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really disappointing.
Yeah.
Like, think of like worse than Walmart brand or like Stop and Shop brand or whatever.
Right.
So
It's like the cereal that doesn't even have a box. It's just in a bag on the bottom shelf.
yeah.
Half of it is just dust. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
But no, that reminds me of the Tony the Tiger with the furries thing, which is probably my funniest thing that's ever come out of Twitter. Is Tony the Tiger was on Twitter and he can't post on Twitter anymore because the furries just blow up the page with all replies of Tony the Tiger porn.
Oh no.
And then he did the worst thing possible, which was try to defend it and tell people to stop. And so they just revamped their horniness back towards Tony.
Nice.
Oh no.
Let's be fair though. It's probably not the furries that are doing it. It's probably the trolls that are doing that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
right. I don't think the furry. Yeah, they're
Well,
probably
and then what's it called? And then Chester Cheeto it just did the opposite and embraced it from everyone and told them that he was their cheesy daddy.
God.
Yeah, so Chester embraced it, which I think was the bolder of the moves.
Yeah. So you gotta do it. You gotta do that.
Imagine you're sitting there in a board meeting at Cheeto, and you're like, "Listen, we can't have another Tony. These guys are horny for our mascot." And some guy in the back of the room's like, "Embrace it." He's like, "Embrace it."
lean into the furries.
Well, I mean, is Chester Cheeto really that hot? I mean, I get the Tony the Tiger thing because he's a really built guy, but Chester Cheeto's like really skinny. I'm just imagining.
He kind of has like the camel cigarettes vibe. Like he's he's kind of cool. He's in a jazz club.
But he's got the really skinny legs. I mean, can you
but you
imagine?
have to keep in mind that these people grew up with them. It's like growing up with your babysitter.
You know that guy, the old guy.
I don't
like
know
in his
if I don't
40s
know
at the
wanting to
bar.
fuck a mascot's the same as wanting to fuck like a hot girl.
But
That's
you
like,
grew up with them.
But like picture Chester Cheeto in your head and imagine a big orange cock between his legs. It just I don't see it.
It makes sense. Are you trying to tell me that
can't.
skinny people aren't attractive?
No, I'm not. I'm just saying he's
hold
like.
on, hold on.
He's skinny shaming.
What snack food growing up, like icon, would you have sex with?
Snack
I
food
don't even know
icon?
the options.
Like Aunt Jemima.
I'm going with Smacks Frog. I'm going with Smacks Frog. That's
Smacks
fine.
Frog.
Do you got Toucan Sam?
Toucan Sam.
There's nothing fuckable about two
the
cans.
other-
Yeah,
Lucky
the
Charms, what's it
Keebler
called?
elves.
What about the underpaid factory workers with the Raisin Bran commercials that always have 2 cups of raisins that they throw
dried
in?
out raisins.
You mean the sun?
The sun?
Yeah, the sun.
Two
The
scoops?
actual sun?
Oh,
What are you talking about? Labor camps, Caleb?
Would you fuck the sun?
I don't remember labor
The
camps.
Their
Raisin Bran.
commercials were always with looking at the factory workers. They're always so happy to be factoring, and then they would just always have like 2 scoops of raisins that they say, "Oh,
Yeah, you got the weird guy that's
Always
like,
2 scoops.
I love sneezing in the cereal every day I come to work as he's just like scraping raisins around.
All right, I don't remember the same commercials you guys do.
Yeah, I don't either. I can't
know
think
what
of a
commercial
lot
he's
of
talking about.
female
I have
snack
seen
food
it. I have
icons.
seen it.
There's not like a really sexualized one like there is in like cartoons and other
that
things.
wasn't a prerequisite for this, was it?" Is there
No.
a sexual commercial or
You're not allowed
sexual
to pick
cereal
the only
commercial?
humans in all the cereal industry.
No.
Well, you know, whatever.
I don't even think
guess
they were the
Wendy.
mascot. They were just the people there.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
words.
guess Wendy's is like an 11-year-old child.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's a child.
I'm thinking Count Chocula.
No, Count Chocola's a good choice.
Oh, what's the mummy dude? That thick mummy boy? Because
I don't know.
there's
Trix
the
Rabbit.
ghost. There was the ghost ones.
Yeah, Blueberry.
No, Trix rabbits. Those kids were assholes.
Yeah, those kids were assholes.
Xenophobia at its best, dude.
Yeah, they're just scared of rabbits. Back at it again.
Degrading the animals. It's
Don't
bullshit.
even get me started on the Cookie Crisp Wolf, alright?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All that man ever wanted was cookies.
God, those were terrible cookies, though.
Why were all those commercials about keeping cookies and tricks away from animals?
From animals.
Why was
technically
that their
bad
marketing
for-
strategy?
for the
Yeah,
animals.
Cookie Crisp would kill your dog, so I guess that's probably something that's like...
Yeah.
Probably shouldn't let the dog have that.
PSA.
Right.
But like, Tony the Tiger ate a bunch of cereal, And like that was the gimmick, was he was like, they're great, and like he was with the kids on the soccer field.
Forced kids to have it. Like
Tony the Tiger's like that really weird. Tony the Tiger's like that really weird invasive coach that gets too involved in your son's life. He's like, you better make sure he's having a balanced breakfast there. Is he eating his cornflakes? Yeah, is he like, you know?
Are you getting him up at 5 for burpees or what? He'll never be a champion if you're not.
Every commercial was just a dad and his son and Tony the Tiger, and it felt like the dad was being cucked by Tony the entire time.
Your son looks very skinny in the showers.
I know that boy
eat some more cereal.
Need some more carbs.
Eat some more cereal. Get him bulk up.
I don't remember these commercials.
I can't think of any female like food icons. I can't think of any. Other than like Aunt Jemima and Mrs. Buttersworth.
Yeah, Mrs. Buttersworth.
That's all.
Yeah, I can't. No, that's weird.
Yeah, there's no females on a cereal. Like, I don't think there's any female cereal like mascots at all.
That's not that I can think of. They're not like main brands. Not like, it has to be name brand. We're not talking about like Dr. Thunder or any bullshit.
I think the alphabet cereal had a female, like the C was a girl or something like that. But I don't think that's like the only one I can think of.
I used to get the honeycombs bee mixed up with the bee from the
Cheerios?
nasal spray commercials, and it used to really throw me off.
Yeah, I don't see any. I guess.
Oh my god! Yeah, I forgot. Have you seen that? Did you guys ever watch those commercials? The Flonase commercials, I think, where it's just the like really weirdly sexy bee that's like hitting on human women.
He's like in between French and Italian, and like
he's
exactly.
got this weird ass accent.
You guys remember commercials too well.
Yeah, you guys.
When I see a bee fucking swaggering up to this chick and be like, "Hey, girl, I can clear those sinuses," and she's like, "Oh my god,
just stick this up your nose."
Yeah,
baby.
he just sprays inside of her.
There is one female on the cereal box, and it is the Fruity Pebbles. It's Bam Bam's sister.
But that's a toddler. That's weird.
Yeah. Baby.
And that's Bam Bam's sister. That's not like specifically made for cereal, you know?
Right, that's just Flintstones branded cereal.
It's Fruity Pebbles. Fruity Pebbles are pretty mainstream, and it's Bam Bam and his sister.
Yeah, no, I didn't say it was bad.
That was a cartoon.
I consider Fruity Pebbles A class. They're in like the A tier.
S-tier. Yeah, they're
no one's arguing that. Everyone, Kalen, what's your favorite cereal?
Mine's probably going to be probably like Raisin Bran.
Okay, all right, respect.
With the fruit in it, because I feel better about myself than if I would.
No. You have to rephrase this question. You have to have favorite cereal and then favorite like dessert cereal.
Oh, okay.
That's fair.
Favorite daily driver is probably going to be Raisin Bran with like
the daily
strawberries
driver.
In it, or the cranberries. And then
but
dessert
on that Sunday
cereal,
where you're having a mimosa, you slept in, you don't want to like cook, you don't want to dirty up anything. You're like, I want some luxury ass cereal. What do you
Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
What? It's all the same shit to me. I consider
wow, look at Mr. Fancy Pants Ryan down there.
You gotta have one cereal that you can kind of convince yourself is healthy, and then you have to have one cereal that's eating a bowl
I know
of
it's
ice
not.
cream.
I know it's 100%
Okay, then you buy fucking Total. Everything else is something else.
Fuck Total. Total is the worst cereal you can put in your body.
I'm not saying it's good, but it's...
I love Total.
Fuck Total.
What is Total? Is that the Honey Nut Cheerios
it's
knockoff or brand?
Frosted Flakes, but like no frost.
Yeah, no frost.
Brand
exactly.
It's just flakes.
Yeah. It is the
They're just
classic
flakes.
brand flakes, yeah.
I would go with my favorite daily driver cereal would be Honey Nuts and Oats.
Honey Bunches of Oats.
that's right.
Yeah.
And
With or
then
without almonds, though.
That's not dessert. There's honey all over it. It's like a sweet cereal.
but you can convince yourself, I'm just eating granola. Like, this is okay.
No,
Hey, this is just a nature bar with milk.
It's all the same shit. Thanks, Ryan. But then my favorite dessert cereal would be Reese's Puffs, without a doubt.
Reese's Puffs. All right.
Okay.
For
Oh,
breakfast.
fuck, Reese's Puffs.
It's
Oh, my
Reese's
God.
for
I
breakfast.
don't think I've ever
Reese's
Am I wrong? Am I
Reese's
wrong? I feel
Puffs.
like this is it's all the same shit.
It is all the
It's
same
a
shit.
chocolate flavored.
It's definitely all the same shit.
All right.
Cinnamon, Apple Jacks are god tier.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair.
Apple Jacks are god tier, and then I do Raisin Bran or Total as a daily.
I actually just faced this dilemma like yesterday because I went to the store and I was in the cereal aisle and I was like, man, I haven't bought cereal in forever. And so I sat there for like 10 minutes staring at all the different cereals because you don't realize how much of a choice it is until you're there.
Yeah.
So I went with Fruit Loops because I love Fruit Loops. So that's going to be my answer.
For
Wow.
both? Is that for both or just the daily? Order?
That's just the cereal I eat because I don't have dinner and then like, oh, it's time for dessert and pull out the cereal box and
Good call.
'cause that's what serial killers do.
Yeah, they listen to ASMR and they eat cereal for dinner.
Yeah, I can't buy cereal because I'll eat the whole box in 2 days.
That's fair.
I can't buy it.
My
I don't have any control.
Is Crispix. I don't know if you ever had it, but like if you pour milk into Crispix, you get like the little pockets of milk in there, and if you eat it before it gets soggy, it's the best cereal in the world.
Is that the cone things?
It's like a hexagon.
Chocolate?
It's a hexagon. It's not chocolate. It's literally like a bran, but it's hollow bran hexagons that are like they fill with milk, and then they pop in your mouth when you eat it. It's good. It's good.
Oh, he's
Trust me, it's good. It's
he's
great.
a texture type of guy.
Oh yeah. That's like
right.
my daily healthy. Like that's the healthy one. And then my dessert of choice. They don't sell it anymore, and I'm upset about it. It's French toast crunch.
Oh yeah,
that stuff was just shit, dude. I love that. And they're like, oh, we're gonna sell cinnamon toast crunch only now, and I'm like, what the fuck, guys? Like, this is my favorite cereal. What are you doing? And yeah, made me angry. Yeah, it's bullshit.
Should have wrote a letter to your governor.
Yeah, I would have. Call the police.
9 years old when that happened. Writing a letter, angry letter to my governor.
This is a revolution. I will not stand for it. All right. Well, that was some fun cereal talk. That went on for. Did not realize there was that much to talk about cereal. I like that.
I feel like we could have kept going too, but
Probably.
But I'm interested to hear what you guys had going on this week. So, Kaylin, if you'd like to start.
Not a whole lot. Pretty boring. I've been playing with fire, which has been fun.
Yeah, I've seen your Snapchats. They're fucking hilarious. Elizabeth laughed her ass off at the first one.
What was the first one?
You know where you go to start the furnace and it just like comes out with a blaring alarm and you're just like fuck, and then it just abruptly ends.
Yeah. So trying to relight a furnace. I mean, there's a step process. First, you have to purge, and that's essentially just forcing air into the furnace to, if there's any natural gas, the natural gas gets dissipated. And that goes on for a set amount, like 8 minutes. So I don't start the snap. And then once your purge is complete, that's when I started the Snapchat. First, you establish your pilots. You press the pilots button. Pilots come on, and that's pretty uneventful. Then you have to check to make sure your pilots are on, and that's just with a UV. It's called the purple peeper.
Purple penis?
Purple peeper. That's
the purple
the
peeper.
technical term is a purple peeper because it's purple and it peeps a flame.
Yeah.
I like that.
And then you have to latch a fuel, which essentially just lays on, like, turns it back to zero, and then gets your safety valves released. So then your Beck is holding back the natural gas, and then you light your fire. Fire comes on, boom! And I get startled by that, and then I try to turn it into auto, and then everything shuts off, and burr, burr! And then I got scared. I thought I did it right, I'll be honest. And then I said fuck, and then that was that. I actually have that Snapchat saved because I thought it was funny after the fact.
That was a good snap. That was a good Snapchat. Absolutely.
I like that one. Yeah.
So outside of trying to blow up your place of work, what else have you been up to?
Just playing around at work. Got a lot of stuff done, which was nice.
How's Terraria been?
Terraria has been a blast. Anthony and I are pretty close to the end of the game. Ryan joined a little bit and then got his shit pushed in a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I still take credit for finishing off the boss we did last.
No, we couldn't have done it without you.
Yeah, my silver sword came in, he smacked it, exploded.
Yeah. Ryan is out there with what sword, Ryan? A copper sword?
Just the silver sword.
Silver sword.
Great sword in gold armor.
So it's like 9 damage.
9 damage, yes. I think it might be 11. Yeah. I got in there, though.
Excuse me.
Yeah, he wasn't afraid. He went in there.
No, I got in there.
I'm not afraid.
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty exciting week, but I don't think I could talk about most of it, but it was good. But
That's
next
good to
week
hear.
should be an exciting week.
Like,
Ooh.
sexually? Have you met a partner? Is that what this is? Is that why you can't talk about it?
Ryan, why do you gotta call me out like that?
I don't know. I'm just guessing.
Why you gotta call me out like that?
All right, well, let's move on.
Yeah, ladies, if you're in Iowa and you're a lady, watch out. The quarantine's
I'm on the prowl.
He's got a purple peeper, man.
Yeah, eligible bachelor.
Caleb's
See.
fucking horny.
Eligible
pilot's
bachelor with the
there,
purple paper.
Got my selection purple people too.
Yeah. Furnaces aren't the only thing he's blasted in the next week, so be careful out there.
Damn right.
Hunter, how about yourself, bud?
Jesus Christ. Well, it's been a long time coming, but the sauna arrived this week. So
Golf clap.
sauna showed up, and it came on like a big freight truck in like a big pallet, and my girlfriend and I had to drag it into the house. We put it together in like 30 minutes, and
that's pretty easy.
it's incredible. It's you get in it, and it gets up to 150 degrees. So
Oh my god.
I crank it up all the way, and
Your poor power bill.
I don't think it's going to be too bad, but we'll see what happens. And
It's like $3,000.
I've looked into it, and it's not going to be that bad from what I've seen. But
We'll see.
It's a baller lifestyle that we live.
You'll
So
have to keep us updated on that. Yeah, you got to do what you got to do for luxury.
When you
So-
sent the video, I was legitimately jealous of it.
it is
That's
pretty
nuts.
cool, and I've hated my gym next to me that I used for a really long time, and the only reason I still had it is because of the sauna. So I bought my own, and now I'm going to cancel my shitty gym membership and
Hell yeah.
never fucking go to that shithole again.
They'll
But
probably make up for the power cost of what you'll have each month.
yeah, it's going to average out about the same to that. So
So just jump her up in sauna at home, and that's all you got?
well, I
That's all you
actually yesterday I ordered some like cardio equipment for my garage. So I'm kind of like using the coronavirus excuse of like building my own home gym in my like a garage gym, and
Yeah.
get some kettlebells and shit. Get real fit, get that dick root going.
Yeah.
And, but yeah, man, the sauna is like it's so different than like a typical sauna because it's an infrared sauna, not like a traditional like
Like steam.
heat element sauna, and the traditional sauna heats the room, whereas the infrared sauna heats you. So I kind of feel like a piece of bread in a toaster, where I'm just like kind of like I'm getting cooked.
Is this
And-
fine? Are you gonna? Is this healthy?
So I said this I think 2 podcasts ago, where if you get one of these bullshit like Chinese knockoffs on Amazon that they sell for like $1,200, like the radiation that you're getting from that is dangerous, and like you're really cooking yourself. But the one that I bought has like some kind of a special process that like has a lower EMF rating or something to where like your radiation exposure isn't anything worth worrying about. But the other one is like literally like you're cooking yourself. So don't get a cheap sauna on Amazon because you might die. But
He's as cheap as he dropped $1,200 for the budget version.
Well, I hope you don't get cancer.
Yeah,
he's
I'm not going to
hoping,
get cancer because I bought a very nice one that passed all the Swedish standards. And
The Swedes know what they're doing.
They do.
other than that, man, I've been fucking working, dude. I working remote full time, and we're having a bunch of meetings about like bringing everybody back. But every single meeting we have, everybody just says like, "Why are you bringing us back? This is dumb." So the tensions are high in the office. Everybody's on a 20% pay cut until further notice, and then also they're kind of like seemingly trying to force people back into an unsafe work environment. So people are getting angry, and it's super fun. I love every single meeting I have to go to these days because all of them are very laid back and relaxed, and But no, they're grown adults yelling at each other, and it's scary, and I don't like it. But
how many people? How many people do you think are going to get fired over this?
dude, I don't know how many people are going to get fired necessarily, but I feel like a lot of people are thinking like, well, fuck this shit, I'm out. Like,
Yeah, and they'll just quit.
yeah, I mean, during typical like layoff periods in the programming market, because it's a developer's market, like if they announce layoffs, everybody will start like putting out resumes and looking for greener pastures, and then they're going to find greener pastures, and then like more people end up just quitting than actually getting fired because of the threat of being fired. So, and that kind of fucks everybody over. So
Yeah.
I've only been in my job for like a little over a year, and I've already seen 2 of these big layoff periods where it's practically just a bunch of very inexperienced people still there, and it's scary because then you have to pretend like you're experienced and you're not.
That's rough.
Yeah, but you know, I get stressed and then I hop in the sauna and
There you go.
Do you work in the
Radiate your
sauna?
troubles away.
yeah, I bring my laptop in the sauna until it starts like really melting, and then I'll set it outside. And
I should do like brought a wireless mouse or something in there.
you can't bring
Yeah, just
fucking
have a screen
Amy.
outside.
Dude, I literally like it feels like every single like molecule of water gets it like pulled out of my body. Like it is crazy. Like I sweat so much in that thing, it is insane. Like over a gallon of sweat, just fucking just
Jesus Christ.
yeah.
Does it have like I'm assuming it's got a clean thing because there's a lot of skin sludge that comes off in saunas.
Yeah. So
Oof.
Does it have like secondary containment? Like, do you have to like? Is there like a
Lift up
box
the
underneath?
steam, there's like a gross ass skin bucket below it or something.
So there is none of that. And the thing is, you got to keep it clean, and you got to like put a bunch of towels down and shit. So we bought like a bunch of extra towels, like sweat towels.
Yeah.
And
Right.
you guys know sauna maintenance. I mean, this is 101 stuff.
Sure, yeah.
Of course, yep. We all own saunas, yeah, you know?
Yeah. Been there, brother.
Every
It
house
honestly feels like
Every
this
single household.
stream room. It
If
feels
I
like
had a
I always
nickel.
spritz into one every single day.
But yeah, you know, I'm definitely, you know, flexing on anybody that comes by. We tried to have people over for Carissa's birthday, and I wanted them to, you know, come over so I could be like, yeah, look at it, you know.
See how many people you can get in the sauna at once?
No. It doesn't. It doesn't feel like it feels real solid, but it feels. I don't know. It's made out of hemlock, which isn't like the strongest wood. It's kind of like. I don't know.
Isn't like hemlock a poisonous plant? Like, isn't that like?
Yeah, you have. It's. I think so, but you have to use hemlock for saunas because of like moisture absorption or something.
I see.
I don't know.
Fair enough.
Just
Probably like
made
a
of
low-
poison ivy.
Don't worry, we'll kill you with
The
radiation.
Swedes
it's
know what
fine.
they're doing. The Swedes know what they're doing.
Yeah, I trust the Swedes.
They're basically elves, so they know what they're doing.
Yeah, the Swedish elves.
But yeah, man.
That's a compliment, by the way.
Other than that, fucking nothing, dude. Drinking a lot.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I started streaming.
What the fuck else am I supposed to do?
I started streaming golf with friends. So
Yeah,
Nice,
yeah.
nice.
check me out on the golf course. Codeine 420 TTV.
Of course.
All I'm going to say is 4 out of the 5 of the people on this podcast right now are streamers. So
This is true, actually. Yeah,
All right.
Yeah.
I feel left out here.
Start streaming, bro. Get some of those worship streams going.
Yeah. You got to get on the golf course, dude.
there you go.
Obviously, you're not a golfer.
Yeah. I want to buy Tiger Woods golf now, and I want to do that.
God. The PGA.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I want to start
yeah.
really golfing, you know.
Yeah,
No,
get-
if you
not
want
really
really golf, you got to
golfing.
play Mario
Yeah, I
Golf.
was gonna say that. Yeah, if you're
and
really golfing, Mario's the
you
way
know,
to go.
you know what you need to do? You need to get the golf clothes. Wear those
That's what I'm
during your
saying.
stream.
I want to open up the door and I want to roll in on a golf cart, and then I want to like
then
get
sit
out,
in your,
and I like I've got the shoes on and everything, and then I just sit
there's
down.
a guy that your guy behind you
just
hands
get
you various
Carissa to
golf
be your-
clubs.
get Carissa to be your caddy.
Yeah.
It's like an Argyle sweater vest over a white
just
polo
walks in.
and a little pom-pom hat and just like,
Yeah.
There's something here, Hunter. There's something here.
Yeah, I'll
I
be a golf
guarantee it.
streamer. That'll
Yeah.
just shotgun beers every
he
third
puts
hole.
Luxani's like, Carissa, you think that's like a half-inch slope to the left?
Definitely.
She like pulls out the specific like.
I've just got the
Absolutely.
bag next to me.
And anytime you have to putt, you have one of those. You know, every single time you see like one of those high-rise offices, they have the little putt course up there. You got to get
Yeah.
one of those behind you. Absolutely.
There's money to be made here, Hunter. We're spitting money ideas.
Right.
Somebody said there's VR for golf with friends, so I'm thinking maybe that's a lane I need to go down. I need to be the VR golf streamer.
There you go.
Well,
And then-
from what I
Playing
understand,
VR chat last night, I definitely saw why having VR would be so much fun.
well, here on that point, from what I understand, if you're gonna do VR, you have to have some like moderators that are there, like.
Yeah, you're just stuck in the game, yeah.
Yeah, because you
Yeah,
can't
that's
look at your
fair.
own chat. You have to make sure that you have mods there that are like looking at your chat like hardcore
Yeah.
and are willing to like throw the band hammer down, because it's very easy for people to just like drop super racist things because you can't see what they're doing.
How do you interact with them then? How? I guess you just
don't.
told
You
them.
don't.
There's a plugin that certain ones have where you can actually pull up the web browser of your chat. So you can actually, like, when you have your little console in your hand, you can actually just see chat go by.
Cool.
I guess
You can't interact with it.
Yeah, no. You can talk to them, but you can't, like... It's hard to ban them. Like, you can use...
Oh, no, I wasn't talking. I
browser
was
system
meant,
to do it.
like, just interact with what they're saying, not necessarily.
Yeah.
I think Ryan's right. You have to have mods for that, but
Oh, yeah.
like, because that's the whole, not the whole allure of Twitch, but some of the allure of Twitch is interacting with them and influencing what the other person is doing.
Yeah, you're very limited in that regard with
Yeah.
VR headsets. Because I was thinking about pulling the whole PSVR, then I'm like, wait a minute. If I do that, then I don't. It just wouldn't work. I think I think VR is great if you have a companion with you.
Yeah.
Because then someone could be interacting with chat, making sure everything's going fine, and you can rotate.
Yeah, I know with I think it's Steam VR, Steam Index. Like you have your two, whatever they're called, knuckle things, whatever, where you can enable a developer mode where if you lift it up or something, like if you look at the bottom side of your joy, whatever it's called, I can't remember.
Just call it a controller, Kalen.
Look at the bottom. I was really struggling there. Look at the bottom of the controller. You can see like your PC stats, like your CPU's at 90%, 80
Right.
degrees or whatever. Like if you're able to do something like that, just look at the bottom of your controller and see all that stuff. Obviously, it's not actually there. It's just in the video game. I think that could be quite worthwhile. If
Yeah.
you're able to do that.
That's possible, yeah.
Well, I not only started streaming, but I also posted the first episode of my podcast with Botang.
Oh, that's right.
There's actually 2 episodes up now. So
Wow.
This is like a meta thing. You're advertising a podcast.
this is
on a
me
different
advertising
podcast.
inside of a podcast. My other I'm a content creator now, so I've got to kind of reach out,
Gotcha,
use my network. So yeah, and other than that, man, nothing.
I'm waiting for Hunter to be the next like train wreck.
The Destiny streamer?
The streamer.
Yeah,
Not
train wreck of-
I hope you mean the Destiny streamer.
Just fall out
he's
alcoholic.
a little bit of a mess. Just goes in the other room and he forgets to mute his microphone on his headset. You just hear him snorting cocaine.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I only drink tequila on the golf course. I don't do cocaine. Not on the golf course. I respect the golf course too much.
And Ocelot, David,
Yes.
what did you do this week?
A lot of shit. So all I have a green screen now. It finally came in. I actually was very angry at UPS about this one, but then I heard from someone else that they went down to the UPS distribution plant down where I live, and they're the only one that services the entire state, and so they apparently had boxes stacked to the actual ceiling, like the rafters in the ceiling. They just could not deal with that many boxes, and they hadn't hired enough people or anything, so they were just basically fucked. And so I waited 2 extra weeks for this green screen to come in from when it was supposed to come, according to Amazon. And every day they were like, natural disaster occurred, we can't deliver your package today. And it's like okay,
Sure.
it's like I was like, oh, that's fine. And so it literally for 2 weeks that went on, and then Amazon was like, oh, you've passed the point, you can get a replacement or a refund. And I was like, I want a replacement, and they're like, we don't have a replacement. And so I just kind of had to wait. But it was pretty rough. But for a while I didn't even know if I was going to get a green screen at all. I was just like, I hope it's coming in. But in the meantime, while that was happening, I ordered a bunch of drone parts. I think I mentioned last time I'm building a VR drone.
Yeah.
So they all came in, and I built the drone, and I don't have a controller written for it for the Raspberry Pi yet, but it is stupid powerful. Like, I tested it with the software, and if I hold it in my hand, it's like 40 pounds of upward pressure when I put it at full blast. It's just like, I'm like holding it down. I'm like, and it's like, it's just like,
That's
it's
awesome.
kind of insane.
That sounds so cool.
So we'll see how well that works out. It's more powerful than I thought it was going to be, so it's going to be fun. If I don't do the VR thing, at least I have a good racing drone. It's pretty sick. So that was fun.
Yeah.
It was only like $200 for all the parts, and I was very surprised I was able to get something so powerful. Yeah. So that was fun.
So
then,
what kind of step you have to build? Like, you just get the motors, the frame, and the controller, and then put it all together?
Yeah, so basically, there's actually a bunch of little parts that I didn't actually think was a thing. So you buy the frame. I bought a cheap carbon fiber 3D printed one that was like basically a bunch of, like, I don't know if they're Americans or like Europeans, made a frame, like I designed a frame and 3D printed and all stuff, and then China decided that they could just 3D print that frame and sell it for way cheaper. And so I was like, oh, $30 instead of $80, that's great. So I bought the Chinese ripoff, which is still made of carbon fiber, so it's still just as strong, but like maybe the screw holes aren't drilled as nice as the other ones were. And so I was like,
You're
so I built
fine.
that frame, and then I had to buy a flight controller and a power supply. I just gave myself a huge leg cramp, and I don't know how. We'll get to why that probably happened after the drone thing. But I had to buy a power regulator, and so I bought an all-in-one board that did all of that together. But by buying that, I had the tiniest soldered points possible because they shoved a bunch of shit onto one board. So that was fun. And then I had to buy electronic speed controllers for the motors. So basically, the motors report what their speed is and what their voltage should be to maintain velocity, and that goes back to the flight controller. And then the flight controller says, here's the voltage that from the power thing, and then basically it all goes in. And then I had to buy a LiPo battery to power all that. So it was a lot of soldering, a lot of bullshit, and I still haven't gotten the actual control method for it because I'm going to do that over Wi-Fi. So
Sneaks back in with snacks.
yeah. So I mean, it was pretty easy to figure it all out. I just had to buy compatible parts, and I had to buy the props on their own too. So you buy props for the size of the frame and the motors based on the prop size and stuff like that. So it's pretty simple. It's actually really simple once you there's tons of tutorials on it. You can basically buy any parts. They're all sourced from China, and it's like the golden age of drone building right now because it's like everything's already done. There's already a software called Betaflight, which you can program and tune the drone. And so basically everything's all of the flight controllers run on Betaflight. And so you could just program whatever the shit you want in through a GUI and you're fine. And that's it. It makes sure everything's good, make sure your battery voltage is good, make sure everything, the temps and cutoff. It has an on-screen display for when you do first-person view. Like all of that's already written for you. And so it's kind of insane. It's actually really, really easy to build a drone right now.
Okay.
And I'm surprised that people are spending like $600-700 on Mavics, other than the fact that they come with a gimbal. Like that's basically the only upgrade at that point.
So I remember back in college, we did a little bit of a project programming one of those, and that was like, we did only like a small snippet of it, and it required Laplace transforms and all that bullshit that I can't remember. I wasn't sure, but like the Betaflight, if it did it all for you, I could see how that's totally
right. And yeah, the
that's part
propellers
that
were
scares
even
me is going through that math stuff and not realize I wouldn't be able. I couldn't.
Yeah. I mean, there's not much math you have to do because the torques are all calculated for you. So if you go to the Motors white papers, they'll show you the torque given what type of propeller that you buy. So all the propellers are certain inches or certain designs. So if you buy this design and then this propeller, you'll get this much torque per engine. And so you can basically calculate the whole thing on your own if you wanted to. But it's
do you
pretty
have
easy
to
pick
do you have to
distance.
register the homemade drones with the FAA too?
I should.
Yeah. I know, my dad tried to get some like phone.
I should. That's if I'm going to fly it outside, I'm probably going to.
Yeah.
But I want to make sure I get it working with VR and stuff like that. The idea is basically, I mean, the thing that I want to do with it is frowned upon harshly by the FCC or the FAA. Sorry, FAA.
Flying into military bases.
No. I want if you fly it in VR, you're technically out of line of sight. If you have a headset on your head, you cannot see the drone yourself, and so because of that, it's frowned upon. But if I have a spotter with me, it's fine. So it's kind of like one of those things. It's like a gray area of we don't really know how to do this because FPV is kind of a new thing. It's fun. It's been I haven't gotten into the hard part yet, which is going to be encoding video onto a Raspberry Pi from a camera that's a 360-degree camera, and then finding a way to do that over Wi-Fi to my computer, so I can put my VR headset on and see a 360-degree view in VR, and then use Bluetooth controllers to control a drone through Wi-Fi. And that part's going to be difficult, and I have to do it all through Steam's VR kit. So that's going to be that part. I've been like sitting there like, oh god, how am I going to do this? But I should be able to do it. It'd probably take me a couple months though. So you probably won't hear again about the VR drone for a while. Maybe some updates. Basically, I got controls working or something. I don't know. We'll see.
Fuck yeah, dude. That's awesome.
It's pretty awesome. It's like I was so excited when I got it built, and like you plug in the battery and all the stepper motors do a electronic beep. So they use the motors as speakers. So they all go beep, 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 and like it kind of like beeps, but all the motors beep in like unison to make sure that they all work. And so it was like, I was like this moment of just like, oh my god, this is the coolest thing I've ever done. And then I turned the motors on and it's like, it's alive, and it's like full blast.
Nice.
Like, it's like better than most fans that I literally like, it's like $200 fan at the worst. Like I just strap it to something and just blow the shit out of something else. But it's actually like helicopter force winds when you have it going. It's crazy. Yeah.
You pooping over there, Hunter?
Oh.
Yeah, I'm pooping. I'm pooping in my bed.
The other thing I did this last week actually happened today. I spent 3 hours in some guy's swimming pool today taking dive lessons. Basically, because of COVID, none of the dive pools were open. So, like, no YMCAs, no schools, no hotels, no nothing. And so they found a guy who had a deep enough pool. It was like a friend of a friend of a friend kind of deal. And they brought us all to some guy's pool. We all did dive lessons in a pool in someone's backyard, which was pretty awesome.
Dive as in the whole like
PADI certification, yeah, like basically going tanks, not snorkeling, like full on like oxygen underwater, scuba diving, yeah, like
I
scuba
wasn't
diving.
sure if it was
I thought you were doing like Olympic
No,
diving.
not that diving, not that type of diving, not like Olympic diving, no, scuba.
Yeah.
Scuba certified. But yes, basically by the end of this week, if everything goes according to plan, next podcast I should be a gold card PADI scuba certified guy.
Oh wow.
How do you mean?
I don't actually know what the acronym is.
All right, obviously not a gold card.
I think it's like something Dive Institute, PA Dive Institute. You know, you figure it out.
In fifth grade, my dad tried to save a little bit of money, and he signed all of us up to go scuba diving. I was in fifth grade, and hey, you know my son that's got the anxiety issues? Oh, if I put a tank on him and he goes 100 feet down underneath the water surface with no previous training, that's a good idea. So he decided to just fucking ball to the wall in.
Jesus Christ.
Like on the way down, so I just ended up fucking snorkeling.
Wait, you actually went like to the ocean to dive without having?
Well, we were in Hawaii, and he was like, "Fuck it, you know, let's do it," because we didn't pay for the hotel, but we didn't pay for the airline ticket.
Oh my god!
So it was just like a fuck ton of money to spend on just whatever the fuck we wanted to do.
Jesus Christ, that's actually like incredibly dangerous. Well,
incredibly,
from what I've learned, like you can like literally fuck your shit up. Like if you go too deep and come up too fast, you will expand your lungs. Like you'll pop your lungs.
Like we were out at like a fucking insane spot. I mean,
okay, but even if you go like 30 feet under, you can actually like expand the nitrogen in your blood and get like a really bad sickness that can only be like solved by like decompression chamber. So like that's super dangerous. Let's just put our kids. They go 30 feet. It's fine. Just put our kids down there. It's great.
I got high blood pressure.
It's probably better that you didn't dive, to be honest with you.
But the snorkeling was really lit. But
Yeah,
anyway,
I imagine. Yeah, that sounds awesome. No worries.
Drone, that's sweet. Green screen, hell yeah. UPS still.
You're right. No, actually, seriously.
Oh, let's not get our sponsors.
Dude, I bet they're getting fucking hammered during
They
Corona.
are really. It's not their fault. It's really not their fault, to be honest.
Everyone's
But,
just
like,
ordering everything.
Yeah, it's just like everyone's like, I want this.
Honey, dude.
Yeah,
I've ordered a lot of things.
Drone. I mean,
I've
imagine,
ordered
like,
a lot too.
them trying to fit a 6 fucking foot green screen, like a giant, like it's like 5 inches by 6 foot long, like 5-inch box by 6 foot long into a UPS truck. I can just imagine the guy just being like, "Fuck it, it's not going on the truck." Disaster. It's a natural disaster. I can't do it. It's like,
Just imagining that plus like Hunter's full pallet of a sauna next to it.
oh my God. These assholes.
Shit.
Who the fuck needs this?
The guy's like, I bet this dude doesn't even have fucking ray tracing.
That's what he was thinking. I guarantee it.
I had to pay like a couple $100 to get the sauna shipped because they had to like drop it off in like a freight.
Oh man.
I'm sure.
Could you have gone and picked it up?
What?
Could you have gone and picked it up?
No, the company's based out of Ontario.
Damn. Oh yeah. So that's actually cheap for shipping from Ontario for like an
Yeah,
entire sauna.
they took the brunt of it, and I used a promo code that I got from a guy on YouTube.
Nice.
Ocelot, are you peeing?
No, someone's flushing a toilet above me. I hate living in this basement. Well, for this one reason, that like all
You
the
should have
audio
said
is
yeah.
just
You
fucked.
should have said you were urinating.
It's like just straight peeing on the podcast at the moment.
Yeah. You got a couple jugs underneath you. You're filling them up.
I got my
Yeah,
Twitch, Twitter.
I'm in the public bathroom right now. The green screen's just separating them off.
Yeah, it's all behind me actually. But on the bright side, this green screen coming in means that I can stream because I figured it wasn't great to stream with like a mess behind me, and like even doing 2 podcast episodes with a mess behind me.
The most popular look of it.
Yeah, so green definitely works better. So or nothing at all in terms of streaming. So I will be streaming. I think either this week or the like next week over the weekend. So we'll
Hell
see.
yeah.
Yeah, so it should be good.
Doesn't sound like you're peeing though, which is pretty
I'm so sorry.
No, just run with it. Like, I'm peeing.
I'll pay
Yeah.
you, man.
Urinating right now.
Peeing
The long
pants
one.
is cool. Call me Miles Davis.
David's taking over the podcast. He's the true Chad of the cast.
Oh Lord.
All right, Ryan. We're down
All right. I guess I had a couple things going on this week, but I'm not getting into them because this whole ICP Great Milenko album is going to take me a few minutes to go over. But there's one thing I wanted to mention. I got an affiliate last week, as I mentioned last week. So this week, yeah, well, we've already clapped about that. So I've been trying to figure out how to separate myself from the herd this week, just brainstorming and stuff. And I've come up with some ideas, just some cool rewards for donations and bits and your points and stuff. Because I found when watching other streamers and stuff, I found that people are consistently donating bits, donations, they're spending their points and stuff, but they're not getting anything out of it. So I'm trying to create a reward system where if you give me bits, I'm going to do something for you, something will happen to you. If you donate money, you'll get something out of it, so that you're not just endlessly throwing these things into the void.
Yeah.
No offense just to anyone that.
Nah, fuck you, Ryan.
No,
Dude,
I
the
just-
goddamn theater, you think you owe the damn place?
yeah. So, and again, I'm still brainstorming, just trying to come up with some cool ideas and stuff. And I've got some ideas that I will be implementing sometime this week, next week, who knows?
I was listening to a dude earlier today that every 420 bits you give him, he takes a dab through his nose.
Oh,
And,
wow.
yeah, so I gave him $8.
Yeah.
Did he
That
do?
sounds awful.
Did he do both nostrils at that point?
No, he did one, and then I made him do another one. I also made Ryan write on his forehead for $3. And,
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
What did you write on your forehead?
Oh yeah. Also, I should also mention that basically the bulk of the money I've been making this week has been from Hunter.
yeah,
Using me.
Nice. Very nice.
I don't. What did you say? It was "Thank you, Daddy." I had written on
I
the
think it was
forehead.
"Thank you, Daddy."
Yeah. I actually upped the price after that because I was a little embarrassed. I'm like, I'm not getting enough money for this. I think I turned.
Can I make a suggestion for a tier?
Sure.
You need to make something that you actually put Insane Clown, like the Juggalo makeup on,
Yeah.
and like
Ooh.
listen to Insane Clown Posse for like 20 minutes or something, or 5 minutes. I don't care what. One
I
Insane
have
Clown
to
Posse
put all
song
the-
and the
Put
makeup.
all the
yeah,
makeup
yeah.
on.
Yes.
20
Yeah,
minutes of putting makeup on.
$25 donation or something.
Yeah.
You should just put the makeup on every day. I don't know why you don't.
Do you think there are any Juggalo streamers out there?
Dude, you got to corner that market.
Absolutely.
Right, I don't think there are any Juggalo streamers right now. You need
No,
to.
like, no, there has to
Yeah,
be.
there's no way there's not. I can't
Yeah.
see them not having like Juggalo streamers.
That's fair.
Yeah, just
That's
put
fair.
like a shit ton of ICP merch behind you and just be like, woo, woo, every time you start the stream, like every time you get a donut, you gotta woo woo.
Yeah, maybe.
Make that
We'll see.
your emote. Your emotes have to be woo woo, and they can
Yeah.
spam it. Dude, Ryan, that's a market.
That's a market, dude.
That's a market, bro.
It is, and the Juggalo is very faithful. They're very
Yeah.
loyal to the people
Oh,
that they
yes,
follow.
Absolutely.
Get like a kegerator of Fago behind you or some shit.
Oh
Absolutely.
shit,
The
dude.
only problem is once you get them in there, you can never stream without the makeup, or else they'll come to your house and they'll find you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
Right. They're like, no, you're one of us now. You can't do that.
You have to, like, I mean, yeah, $200. You do some meth on stream. You show them your lab. Like,
Yeah,
just go a full ICP route.
absolutely.
And then we could go to the gathering of the Juggalos, and you're like a fucking celebrity, Ryan.
Yeah, they'll appreciate me. They'll welcome me.
You to go.
Yeah,
Ryan,
that'd be cool.
I've also noticed some other things of yours have gone up in price. I'm a little disappointed by it.
Yeah, I'm kind of disappointed by it too.
The whole hot sauce and then the cinnamon.
Yes. Yeah, you know why? Because I realized that doing the cinnamon challenge is actually detrimental to your health. And
Yeah.
and so I was like, oh man, maybe I shouldn't give this away for like 30 points.
I also made you do that.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, you did. And I made the cinnamon challenge the most expensive thing.
Does Twitch even let you do that? Isn't that technically like self-harm?
Theoretically, Ryan, that's self harm.
Yeah, I don't think
see
you
what
can actually
happens.
do that.
We'll see what happens.
All right, fair enough.
I'll call the police.
I'm
There's a
calling
reason
the
I don't
Twitch cops.
subs anymore because I kind of got spanked by Twitch a little bit.
Nah.
You liked it.
Yeah.
They paid him afterwards.
Okay, you know what you can't do is put an entire half liter or an entire half gallon bottle of vodka into your body just because people are paying you money.
Yeah.
You're not my dad.
Can't tell me what to do.
Yeah, but you also don't make money outside of us. And I was like,
Yeah, all right, whatever. All right.
yeah, whatever. Sorry, Daddy. Sorry, Daddy Bezos.
Yeah. And then, the other thing I did was I wrote a little bit of a write-up on The Great Milenko,
Oh,
which is
shit.
the album that I listened to, which is ICP's biggest album. And I was finishing it up today, and I realized, oh my God, this is a lot. And there's no way I could possibly do all of this on the podcast because it would probably take 30 minutes. And then I also realized, like, holy shit, I'm putting so much work into this. Like, this is more work than I think I've ever put in any of my school projects. Like, I was looking at the last project I did before the semester ended, and it was so hard for me to do. And I was like, oh, I hate this. The quality of this write-up is way higher than
What inspiration does to you.
anything I've done in cost accounting. So I just wrote some. There's a lot to talk about because this is when the whole the Juggalos became like Public Enemy. They were just seen as gangsters at this point, like bad people, and honestly, Violent J and Shaggy 2 didn't help at all because they were doing some fuck shit at the time when this was going on. But I'm not really going to get too much into that. I'm just going to talk about like two of my favorite points, like just my two of the things that they did when this album was being created that made me laugh the hardest. Number one being, so they had a manager, right? And the guy was hunting down record labels for them to record this new album, The Great Milenko. And he went after Hollywood Records. Have you guys ever heard of Hollywood Records?
Yes.
Yes.
Owned by
All right.
Disney. You know what? They got it. They
Oh
got
my
it.
God.
Disney created The Great Milenko. I'm dead fucking serious. This is a real thing. Disney created The Great Milenko. It was in their recording studios in which this album was created. Their biggest one.
That's incredible.
Perhaps Disney created the Juggalos. But it didn't come without a price, though, because you know how Disney is. I don't think they realized when they signed them what they were getting into. So when the album was finally done, they sent it to some executive at Hollywood Records, and they listened to it like, oh my God, no, we can't release this under our name. And so, like, this was like a day before that it was supposed to be sent out. And so they said, we have so many changes that need to be done. Like, you've got to remove these songs. And they did. They released the album heavily edited at first and without a couple of their biggest songs. Like The Net In Game, which is one of their biggest hits, was not on the original release. And what was the other one? Under the Moon. Those two songs were just straight up not on the initial release. But they complied. They said, well, this is our record label, and they're going to probably make us a lot of money, which it did. As soon as it released, I think they dropped to they're like number 17 on the top 200 chart, like within a week. It was crazy. It's nuts for and they weren't even that well known at the time. They were still like freaking grinding, just going to like record shops and being like, "Will you sell our album?"
That's
and they're like,
yeah, marketing for you.
Yeah, like, get out of here, you stupid clown. And so after like a week, like even though the album was still like edited and stuff, it was still an ICP album. You know, lots of singing about murder, rape, white trash stuff, having sex with gross carnies, you know, the usual.
Nice.
And so Disney did, and so then, you know, the public was like, okay, well, Disney's releasing this filth. And so there was a lot of public backlash towards them. And so Disney straight up said, we got to separate ourselves. They dropped them immediately after a week. And the album was selling really well for them. And they still to this day, they're like, we don't associate with the Juggalos. But it's like, you did it. You created it. You created the Great Blank. That's on you. Wow. So, yeah. And then eventually after they were dropped, they were like, well, we got to release the real shit. And so they signed with another record label. And we now have the actual version of the album. So I thought that was funny. You know, a fun little ICP trivia there for you. Also, at the time, I don't know if you guys ever heard, but you guys know there's a lot of beef between Eminem and ICP?
I did not know that.
No.
There is. There is a lot of beef between Eminem and ICP, even to this day. Because apparently...
Some Michigan-based shit?
Well, so the ICP was doing a show in Michigan, and Eminem attended the show. At the time, Eminem hadn't blown up yet. He was about to release his Slim Shady EP, and he was walking around the show handing out flyers to all the Juggalos and everyone involved saying, my EP release party is going to be this weekend, and on the bill is going to be Kid Rock and ICP. They're going to be playing. And so freaking Violent J saw this flyer. Like, he walks up to Eminem and says, dude, we're not playing your show. Why did you say that we're on the bill? And he's like, I don't know. I just thought maybe you guys might show up. And so he's like, no, fuck you. We're not associating ourselves with you. And so Eminem released his album. It became super big. And then they started just yelling at each other over like the radio and stuff. And actually, there is a diss track towards ICP on his Marshall Mathers EP. There's a song that is literally just talking about fuck in the Insane Clown Posse. Where the song is just like depicting Shaggy 2 Dope and Violent J having sex with lots of strange men. So if you ever want to listen to the Marshall Mathers EP and hear the ICP diss track, it's there.
Nice.
And also around this time is when ECW was being formed. Extreme Championship Wrestling. This was before they were associating themselves with the WWE, and ICP started a collab with them. And this is where the ICP became synonymous with professional wrestling fans. So that's where the relationship started there. There's a little bit of a crossover there because, you know, ECW, they would do their crazy hardcore shows, and the ICP would show up and, you know, burn the house down. All the Juggalos in the stands would go crazy.
Oh my god.
What?
Jesus Christ, Hunter, what the fuck was that?
That was my fault. I put my foot in my trash can.
Jesus Christ. That sounded like an earthquake.
Yeah, that didn't sound good.
Wasn't ECW started in New York by Paul Heyman?
Yeah, I know Paul Heyman started. I don't know where it started.
I thought it was in New York.
Might have been.
Anyways, like the same audience that watched ECW and WWE at the time. There's a very heavy crossover to the Juggalos.
Even to this day, if you apparently at the gathering, they have lots of professional wrestling matches going on and stuff.
Fuck yeah.
That's awesome.
What else did I have to say?
What was your favorite song on?
Oh yeah, I was gonna get into the tracks and stuff, but I was just gonna say to this day, the album is still like considered their best. It's gone platinum and sold 1.7 million records.
Jesus Christ!
Pretty big deal for them. Anyway, so getting into the songs, Hocus Pocus is like their biggest hit. Like if you've heard any ICP, you've probably heard of Hocus Pocus, and that song's really good. It's just fucking It's just bars, man. They're just spitting and stuff. It's sick. What is Juggalo? Pretty funny song. I liked that. A lot of self-deprecating humor. Just like explaining to you what a Juggalo is in the most extreme way possible. Like imagine like the most like whitest of white trash, and that is what a Juggalo is. Piggy Pie was a good song. That's about hunting down the 3 little pigs just, and killing them and then eating them.
Nice.
Naturally.
Described them in some really fucked up ways too. It's probably they rapped about some things I definitely could not say on this podcast. If you want to hear a really vile song, listen to Piggy Pie. Boogie Woogie Woo is a good fun bop. I could imagine hearing that one in the strip club, for being honest. I think probably though the highlight of the album for me was the Deaden Game, and what that song is it's like a dating game show, right? You have a woman who's coming out and she's explaining what she wants in a man, what the characteristics are, and then they bring out Shaggy 2 Dope and Violent J, and they're selling themselves to her, right? But obviously, it's ICP, so they're not going to be flattering; they're going to be disgusting. And so he's like, well, one of the first question is like, if I were to bring you home to my parents, like how would you act? And they start rapping about having sex with their mother and looking at the underage sister's breasts and stuff, and taking a shit on the dinner table, and just stuff like that. Yeah, just Juggalo things. And then Down with the Clown, that was a good one too. But that's just about being a Juggalo for life, You're repping, like once you're a Juggalo, you're always a Juggalo. Always, always wearing the face paint. It's every aspect of your life. You're down with the clown. So overall, really good album. I can see why this one blew up. I just gave you some of my highlights, but honestly, the album was pretty fun to listen to from start to finish. So if you're gonna listen to one,
how much of the album being good had to do with Disney, Ryan?
I don't know. And I'd love to see that.
Did they ever talk about their relationship with Disney?
No, I think they're probably legally obligated not to now. And you know how Disney is; they'll come down on you.
That's fair, actually.
The mouse will come and fucking kill you. They'll break your legs or something.
I hear them talking about it. Just a Mickey doll shows up on their doorstep the next day, kind of thing. Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. That was my week.
That's good.
Yeah. Still just doing nothing because I'm not in classes right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
I've been liking your stream a lot, Ryan.
You've been doing good.
I like it. I've been trying to keep it entertaining.
You've been doing
keep
good.
Keep it fun,
kid.
Sexy, hips and nips.
Yeah, hips and nips.
I'm going to be starting a new segment next week. Kaylin came up with the name. I'm really happy about it. It's called Uncage the Cage. And I will be giving a smaller review on the podcast just to keep you guys in the loop. And I think I'm going to be doing a full 10 to 20 minute breakdown of the movie on the YouTube, the Brig. But I'm starting from the very beginning of Nicolas Cage's acting career and making my way all the way up to modern times. We'll be doing a traditional movie review as well as is this a good Nicolas Cage movie or not? So I'm very excited about that. I've been very passionate about the greatest actor that's ever lived, Nicolas Cage. He's been my Xbox Live avatar for going on 12 years at this point, and I'm really excited about it. So that's good. I did go to a bar last night with my roommate. It was the only one in my area that was still open, and it was really gross because it's one of those gross millennial bars. So they got a bunch of shit for kids with ADHD to do while you're drinking, like the little coin toss thing, or giant Jenga, or Connect Four and shit. So it's just this gross ass country bar, but millennialized. And so the only people that were at this bar last night, it was packed. There were so many people at this bar. This bar is probably the size of an Applebee's.
Oh, shit.
To hell social distancing?
Were you just sneezing on people and stuff?
Yeah.
We're done.
And
We're done with it.
There were over 150, 200 people in this building.
Cool.
Pretty sure that's illegal at this point.
There were two different types of people. There were either people that looked like they were 18 and obviously weren't enough to get into a normal bar. And then there was like 40-year-old PE teachers that just looked really miserable to see a lot of younger kids there.
Cool.
Like me and my roommate sat down at the bar. There was an open spot. We sit down. We order drinks. We're there for like 5 minutes. These two guys come up with food in their hands. And the guy reaches in front of me and takes a beer that's been sitting there. And he's like, can't believe you guys took our spot. And I'm sitting here like, I've been sitting here for 7 minutes at this point. Where the fuck are you guys fucking in the bathroom? Like, where are you going for 7 minutes assuming your bar spot's going to be back? And then the guy threatened to kick my ass. It was really cool. So, like, within the first 10 minutes, I was pissed.
That sounds like
Do you think after all this social distancing, we've just completely forgotten how to interact with other people?
Absolutely. There's going to be people eating each other in the street.
I've been seeing a bunch of shit on Reddit about, like, people going back to, like fucking, like, Hobby Lobby and shit and getting into fist fights and stuff. Like, and, like nobody knows how to interact with other people now. Like, it's just by the wayside.
Yeah.
The bar was essentially just two, like, gorillas just, ooh, ooh, ooh.
I mean, honestly,
and the winner just grabbed onto the chick and just, like, hauled her off. And that's essentially what this bar felt like.
Oh, Jesus
that honestly
Christ.
just sounds like business as usual to me.
Yeah, that does to me,
Or
too.
as far as like bars go.
This bar is they got one Blue Moon on draft. I gave a $2 tip. Guess how much I paid with a $2 tip for a Blue Moon on draft?
$16.
I'm here with $8.
$9.68. They charged me $7 for a 16-ounce Blue Moon.
You're at a bar, bro.
Yeah,
I mean,
right? It's
yeah.
a craft beer, man. Come on.
Buckhead or Atlanta, you're literally in the boonies. Who are you serving?
Dude, their fucking business is probably about to collapse, and they're squeezing every dime they can out of anybody
Hey,
that's
it
willing
seems like
to
they had a
visit.
good night, though.
Yeah.
I mean,
you were
it seems
probably
to
the
be
only
working.
person in that bar that didn't like order a Budweiser or some derivative. Like, you're probably the only person. Exactly. You're like, oh, I want
Whatever's
a Blue
cheap.
Moon. They're like, that'll be $7,000. You're like, okay.
So that's pissed about that. I've also been rereading a manga called Solo Leveling, and it's fucking amazing. If you haven't read it yet, do it. It's fucking great. I'm not going to say anything about it. It's just fucking good. Go read it if you're into manga.
okay.
So
I like
That's very
mangoes.
you like mangoes?
Yeah.
Is there
Me
a
too.
manga about mangoes?
Probably. Look it up.
Mango manga?
If not, create it.
But anyways, so yeah, that was my week. And also driving back from Nebraska, which was exhausting. So,
Fun times.
but we're here. We're settled. The new desk and the new and improved backgrounds all here. Next step is I want to get the kegerator fixed so I can have a kegerator because fuck sobriety.
That'd be cool.
I guess. So yay! But yeah, that's my week.
Hell yeah.
Do we want to get into some of these points here, Mr. Hunter?
I think the first one and the biggest one for the week, honestly, was the Joe Rogan thing. His fucking Joe Rogan. I don't know about you guys, but I listened to his podcast. I just put my foot back in the trash can. I listen to his podcast pretty frequently, and he typically just jumps right into the podcast. And there was an episode recently where he kind of had like an announcement, and it was at the beginning of the podcast where he said that he was going to move entirely to Spotify, and that included all of his video podcasts too by the end of the year.
Oh, interesting.
And like, I didn't really think too much of it. I've been kind of investing a lot lately in Robinhood during the. I started recently, just during Corona, throwing some money at shit, and I've kind of gotten a little more invested in stocks and stuff. So I looked over at Spotify stock, and it had risen 13% in like 30 minutes after he had announced this.
Christ.
And so I started looking more and more into it. And apparently Spotify paid Joe Rogan over $100 million for an exclusive deal.
Jesus.
And now with their Spotify stock, I think it rose. I think by the end of, I don't know, I haven't checked recently, but I think it rose 30% on the week. And
Wow.
it's now worth more than Netflix. Spotify is now worth more than Netflix, which is
Jesus.
fucking crazy, dude, because of
That is
Joe
crazy.
Rogan.
But if
And-
you think about it, I mean, like Spotify is the premier spot for podcasts. Like it has the most leverage in that space for just audio. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well,
It
I
kinda
mean,
makes, like,
It's typically always been the Apple podcast. That was the
You're right.
yeah, dude. I'm telling you, man. And
Like, holy shit.
yeah,
It was.
Do you have any Spotify stock, Kalen?
No.
He wishes.
It was like $112 like 2 months ago, and now it's at $190.
yeah,
Not bad.
And then it like all the growth was like last week.
yeah. They're making money, dude.
Yeah.
Some good growth.
So Joe Rogan had typically like on some of his more famous episodes, like Alex Jones and Elon Musk, for the Apple podcast app, he would get over 100 million downloads on some of those episodes. So that's a huge blow to Apple. But then also
Oh yeah.
with his exclusive deal with Spotify that includes his not only his like audio podcast but his video podcast, he's also doing a huge blow to YouTube too in this move. Like Spotify is cutting throats right now, and Spotify, honestly, if they're announcing that they're doing this video broadcasting or video podcasting with Joe, I feel like they're going to leech more and more into the video. Like they're going to start taking some stock away from Netflix, dude, or YouTube. And I mean,
$1
like,
million contracts coming up here soon to be.
Well, they just started doing music videos and stuff. I was watching,
Yeah.
I was just trying to listen to music the other day, and I was like, what the fuck is this? Because there was a music video playing. I'm like, how did this shit happen?
I am
dude.
personally 100% A-okay with everything that you just said.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not bad.
The other services.
I just use Podcast Addict, and it just, I don't know where they get their podcast from.
Yeah.
But
Well,
I don't know.
because I started using mine way before any of these places had theirs, and I didn't have an iPhone, so I was just like, "Fuck it, I'll just use a third-party app." They get their RSS feed from it anyways.
Right.
Yeah, works fine.
Yeah.
Free.
Yeah,
Good quality pod. I wonder if that'll him moving over to Spot, because that's where I listen to his podcast, is on the Podcast Addict. I wonder
I just put the dots together. That makes a lot of sense. I went on that app. I went on my podcast app to go listen to the last podcast on the left, which has like been ranked in the top 10 on comedy podcasts for years now. They only had 2 videos, and one of them was just saying that they're only exclusive on Spotify now too.
yeah, dude, they're making
Wow.
moves. I definitely imagine Joe Rogan and like I imagine Tom Segura and like Bert Kreischer and like everybody in his circle is going to start moving over to the same platform too. Like Spotify's cutting throats right now, dude.
Everyone saw Mixer do what they did, and then they realized, oh fuck, we could do the same. We could monopolize this side of the business.
Yeah,
I mean, that's not to
Why
say
not?
Mixer's been doing great, have they?
it's crazy.
Yeah.
That's insane.
I'm down for it though. I love Spotify.
Why is Joe super passionate about Elon Musk?
had some interesting episodes.
Yeah, he just had him on again for the
Episode.
second time.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, but
I just see your note about that. Joe might move to Texas if California holds out on reopening on Elon.
no, that I'm assuming Boateng put that. But
Oh, well,
Joe,
okay.
Joe
Well,
has
yeah.
been talking about moving to Texas, and Elon has been talking about moving to Austin. So, if you're listening to this, Elon, I'll probably slip you a resume if you come out here.
I get right on it, dude. He's like, oh, that's definitely moving to Texas now.
Yeah.
Hey, if anything, it might make your pay go up if they realize that.
Yeah, it's just gonna make my rent go up. That's all it's gonna
Oh,
do.
yeah, it's fair.
Honestly, Tesla and SpaceX don't really get paid for that job.
No, it seems like a horrible job, but a resume
Yeah,
booster.
you're there for the prestige.
Yeah, the prestige.
Wow.
You're allowed to work for them.
I
They-
worked for Elon Musk.
Or for Tesla. I got a space penis.
Yeah, that car that's in space. Yeah, I read that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kind of a big deal.
What you
Yeah.
gonna do about it?
Okay, this is a little bit older at this point, but if you haven't, did you guys see about the asexual Japanese man that he cut off his balls and wiener,
Nice.
and then he had like a big ass dinner? You know, charity events where you pay for your plate.
Yeah.
He did that and he served people.
How big was his penis? Hey, how many plates can you?
€100 a plate.
But wait,
Well,
that's a very valid question. How many plates? How do you?
Well, you use it. I'm assuming it's like, I mean, maybe you make a broth with it.
Yeah, like
or
a stew or
you
something.
chop it up and you toss it some peppers or something. And,
Right, just have it in there, maybe you like
yeah,
ground
it's
it,
in there.
You're lucky to get a little bit of the foreskin.
So $900 to eat a man's testicles and/or wiener.
No, I wouldn't do that.
That's some 1% shit right there, dude.
Right, that's pretty
Is
impressive.
it though? Does the 1% want that? Why would they want that?
The 1%'s been eating balls and wieners for years,
Prestige,
Ryan. Wake up.
Ryan.
Wake up, sheeple. I've got full testicles, so I can't exactly. I'm not a 1%.
Human testicles. Have you
I've
had?
not testicles.
Oh, yeah. See,
You have
there's a
talking
difference.
balls in your mouth?
Reminds me, have you guys seen him foot and the doctor let him take his foot home with him?
And then he ate it?
And then the guy and his buddies ate the
Yeah,
foot.
he invited some friends over and they ate it.
Yeah, because apparently they'd had a friend code of, hey, if we could ever eat human flesh, we would. And I'm like, can we look into these guys a little bit?
Right.
Yeah,
5 years ago, it's like, human flesh? Let's get it if we get the opportunity, bro.
I mean, the fact that like he wants to do it, but he's got a group of friends that also want to do it is kind of weird.
But why would you want to eat a foot?
Why would you
Even
eat
if
your
could
own
eat
foot?
human flesh? Yeah, like not only
I mean,
not only a
it's
foot,
your only
but-
chance to eat human flesh, I guess.
Sure.
It's the only way that if I
Legally,
wanted,
it's the only way you could be a cannibal.
yeah, if I wanted to eat human flesh and it was something I was passionate about, the only way that I could do that and not feel really shitty about myself is if I eat my own flesh. Because I'm not hurting anyone; I'm only hurting myself.
You eat flesh every day, you
What if that
fucking
guy got his
bloodmouth.
hemorrhoids removed? And
My
like,
own human flesh.
What do you eat?
Fuck it, I
those?
do it. I do it. If they cut my hand off, I'd be like, I'll eat it. I'll eat my hand.
Like, did the doctor just drop it in like a Publix bag and just say, "There you go," like a couple drops of ice
Right,
in
don't
it?
worry about it.
Just a little doggy bag.
Like, what was the conversation like during that? Just like, yeah, this biohazard box after
It's
the.
your leg. Like, that's your property, isn't it?
It's
Can't
a
imagine-
safety hazard. It's biohazard.
Yeah, I think that you can't. Like, it's actually illegal for them to give that to you.
You got it. I've seen the pictures. There are pictures of it on
Oh
Reddit.
my god.
Look it up.
Was
Look
his
it up.
buddy also the doctor?
It was several buddies. It was like there was like 6 people.
Yeah, he had like a nice dinner for it.
Huh.
Were the candles? Was it romantic?
I don't know.
I wonder what people taste like.
That's what I'm saying. If you got the chance,
Honestly, it probably tastes very similar to everything else.
It tastes similar to
It's not-
pork.
It's
I believe
nothing
pork.
different.
I believe
yeah, but you'll never
very,
know, Kalen.
very
You'll-
fatty.
You'll never know, Kalen.
Absolutely, yeah.
Or the other way.
There's nothing fundamentally different.
Oof.
I mean, yeah. Plus, if you eat too much human meat, it actually fucks with your DNA. Like, there's a
There's a chance to.
What is
For
that
a
called? It's called
prion
like rigor
disease.
mortis or something?
It's
No,
a prion.
No.
It's a
it starts,
prion
like,
disease.
your DNA starts like breaking down because it's like it's some weird ass.
Your proteins misfold.
Interesting.
That's what a prion disease is. It's your proteins not folded properly, and apparently
You
that's
know,
due
not
to-
all of us went to college, Mr. Smart.
Yeah.
Well, you
All
bet
right.
you're going to feel the burn next, aren't you, college boy?
Yeah.
Oh,
Got
boy.
him.
For those people that don't go in the human eating rabbit holes, feel bad for you.
I don't.
I've looked into it.
What's
Oh.
today? It's Monday. No, it's Sunday. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's definitely Sunday.
Yeah,
Sure
4
hope it's
days
Sunday.
from now, we have the first manned launch in the United States in 9 years. So that's kind of
Yeah.
fucking crazy.
That's pretty excellent.
Yeah, that
We
is.
outsource those to Russia, yeah.
Yeah. You pay like 80 million per seat or something like that to Russia to go on the Soyuz. So it's obviously going to launch from Cape Canaveral, the same launch pad that Apollo 11 launched off of, mind you. I think
Wow.
select 39B, 39A, one of those two. Falcon 9 rocket, and launched the International Space Station for the first time with astronauts from American soil, which is quite interesting.
That's exciting.
That's
Yeah.
great.
So you can pay to go into space?
Only
Soon.
one person has bought his ticket, and that's this millionaire son
Some
of
Japanese
some guy.
billionaire or something.
Oh, actually, I don't know about that. I was talking about an American son of the guy that went to Skylab. Can't remember his name, but he bought his way up. He got gypped a little. He flew up on one mission, stayed there for like a week, and then flew back. He was at third seat.
What is the experience? What do you do? Where do you go? You just go in orbit and.
No, the one that I'm talking about, I don't know if there's other people. The one I'm talking about is he bought a ticket on Soyuz. He had to go through the whole Soyuz training, learn Russian, go through all the survival training, just like any astronaut would. But he just didn't have any duties on the International Space Station. So he launched
to the International Space Station.
went to the International Space Station, was there for like 5 days or something, pretty short, and then he took a ride back on the next one leaving. Which I kind of feel like he got gypped a little bit there. I mean, that's...
I don't know. I feel like 5 days is enough.
That's
No internet. Like,
Oh, you have
Is that-
internet up
you get
there.
up there and you're like, I can't play Fortnite. I need to go home.
especially if you're just like a jackass that doesn't know anything about what's going on. Like they're all doing like
Yeah.
experiments and shit, and you just sit there like,
Dude, what happens
I
if
think
shit really
looking
hits the
out that
fan while you're up
window,
there? And they're like, all right, well, you need to save us.
yeah, you.
Well, I mean, they're gonna kill him first. I mean, like he's
Right.
gonna be the first one to go. Like,
You will feed us.
Chris did like smoke the first bowl in space and blows up the International Space Station.
He gets on there, we're all like, we all promised each other if we could taste human flesh, we would do it. He's like, oh shit.
Yeah. Like, oh fuck! Get up all your lips.
Imagine
sounds
going
like
up,
fun.
going up there and just trying to make small talk, and you've all had
By like
that.
some of the greatest human beings, like there's that one guy who was like a Marine, and then he was like a doctor, and then he was trained to astronaut, and like
And then he was only like 32 years
yeah,
old.
like the greatest human being to ever exist, and then you're up there just because your dad's rich. Oh hey, what's
People
up?
like spent their entire
I went to
lives,
Harvard
like,
Med
training
School.
for
Where
this
did you
moment,
go?
and you're like, hey.
Jesus Christ.
Oh man. Oh, you served our country? Fucking sick, bro. Thanks for your service.
That's awesome, man.
Some like dude, bro. He's like,
Do you know-
"Where's
do you
the
know
boat?
Reed?"
Where's the beers at?
Yeah, you're really good, baby. Dude,
Uh,
sick.
He's just like floating in 0G, and he's shotgunning a beer while like spinning in
Oh
the
my
air.
God. Hey guys, I got a sick experiment
What
for
is
you.
this guy doing here?
I would do that.
You guys ever jerk
Just-
off in space?
Tries to funnel a beer and gravity just sprays it all over everyone.
Oh,
They're like, bro, you got PBR all over the space console.
It's just like when Homer Simpson opened up the bag of chips in space, and then, like exploded.
I'd bet a lot of money that they just like locked him into like a pod on the end of the space station. They're like, you can't leave here.
You
Like,
look
in
outside.
space, enjoy it.
Look at
Exactly.
space. You don't do anything.
Don't touch
Don't
anything. or
touch
look at anything.
anything.
You will kill all of us. Like,
You are here because our government wanted $80 million.
Oh, apparently there has been a few.
Yeah, there was that Japanese billionaire. I think he bought it through SpaceX. I want to say
I don't know.
there was some.
Apparently-
I saw some pictures with him and Elon.
Elon's like, yeah, we'll sell a ticket to you.
Yeah,
Right. Get them space bucks.
hell yeah.
give us your
I don't
space
think it does
bucks.
have a list of people.
That's neat.
So we don't have voting on this podcast, unfortunately. When you talked to him on your podcast, did you guys discuss the Biden thing, Hunter?
The black people thing.
Yeah.
Well, I think we kind of touched it for like a second, but I imagine 5 white guys should probably talk about this.
Oh yeah, you seem like very qualified to talk about this.
Are you black if you don't vote for Joe Biden? Tommy, take it away.
Absolutely. Fuck Joe Biden.
Yeah, that
Do you
was
become black if you vote for Joe Biden? that was
was
the better question.
pretty bad.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. So my follow-up is, if I vote for Biden, am I black now?
Right, you good?
Did you see all the memes?
Is that official?
The memes were great, dude. There was one where he
Oh
was
my
in
God.
he was in a do-rag and he was eating hot Cheetos. Oh God, Joe Biden.
Nice.
There's one where it was everyone's stimulus check from Trump, but it was an Edward pass, and it was by
Oh my god.
Because apparently he can do that. He can send those out.
I want to know how he actually became the head candidate at this point, because he's just like blunder after blunder. Like he
I'm
hasn't said
so
like
excited for the debates.
oh
They're going to be so much fun.
Destroyed.
He's gonna get like it's just like a man, like a professional fencer, like fencing a kid with like a wooden stick, and he's just like
It's just
gonna get his
sad.
ass handed to him. It's gonna be terrible.
Oh, it's going to be
man.
fun.
It's
though.
a mentally
That's like
unstable
Donald
man.
Trump's not even a
Fun's not the
professional
right
debater.
word I
He's
would
just
use.
that much more
They need
coherent.
to come out with a separate meme that if you vote for Biden or Bernie, you ain't a boomer no more. So stupid.
Jesus Christ.
Oh my god.
I've never seen somebody actively try to derail himself from a campaign trail so hard.
He just
It's just like when Hillary Clinton got on, I think it was Sway in the Morning, where she said, they asked her, like, what's one thing you always carry with you everywhere? And she said hot sauce. It's the same thing.
oh my god.
It's just pandering.
Woman does not use hot sauce.
Jesus
I can
Christ.
tell you right now, she hasn't
Never
even
heard
tasted
of
a
that.
drop. It's like,
Oh, God.
maybe
Did
ketchup.
you,
Maybe she brought ketchup with her.
do you remember her
but not
Pokemon
hot sauce.
Go comment? That was my favorite.
Pokemon go to the polls.
Oh my god.
Gee.
My favorite image ever is still just her pouring that beer, and it's like
Oh,
90%
that's when she lost it there.
It's
Oh,
like she pours a beer,
that makes me sick.
and like this much of it is beer. The
Oh
rest is
my
all
god.
smoke.
And she holds it up like she's so proud of it. Just,
Yeah, then everyone
She's
said,
not
like,
a
no
person.
wonder- yeah, everyone said no wonder Bill got Monica because Hillary Clinton. It's a head joke. It's a blowjob joke. Whatever.
Oh my god.
Jesus Christ.
It's just, oh my god, Biden, please.
But yeah, there's, I just,
Just continue being, just turn off your cell phone.
yeah,
Be a good boomer puppet and just keep doing what you need to do.
it's
just, yeah, just
it's not going to
That goes for
happen.
both of them.
The boomer puppet
here's
fucked
the thing.
up.
This goes back to my comment about athletes. Why is there not a service in the United States, a professional babysitter, where it's Peyton Manning's going to Nashville, I'm going to pay like 3 people to tail Peyton Manning. If you see him get close to anyone in a physical altercation, fucking pick him up and drag him outside. Why are there not professional babysitters for people?
Is Peyton Manning
that
fighting
literally-
people?
That was just an NFL player.
Oh.
But why is there not a professional service?
I wouldn't
out
want to
there.
fight Peyton Manning. That would be a bad fight.
oh yeah, dude. Fucking. Do you remember when Nashville was in the Stanley Cup? I was in Nashville, and I was told earlier that, and I saw this on ESPN later, so I know it's true. But apparently, Rex Ryan and his brother were in a Nashville like restaurant, and some guy started yelling at them about how shitty coaches they were, and they got in a fist fight. Like the two of them, like how is there no one there? Like you're like the Ryan brothers, and like how is there not anyone there to stop that from happening?
I know. There's literally people that have jobs that solely rely on how the public views them. You don't think it's worth $20,000 a year to pay somebody to just go be a professional
20,000?
babysitter?
You're gonna get a college student that doesn't give a shit.
You're not getting anybody for 20 grand.
No, yeah, that's a
You get what I'm
I
saying.
mean-
This is an athlete worth millions of dollars.
Yeah, I fucking dude, I'd do it. I'd follow some cyber and be like, dude,
Absolutely.
don't
No,
say that. Stop.
No.
I know how this is gonna look. I promise you. I browse Reddit on the day.
I mean,
like, this
they
is gonna
do-
look terrible for you. Just
Right.
don't do what you're about to do.
They do
Do you
have
see-
PR teams, but it's the information that they give them.
Yeah, just,
It's Antonio Brown Instagram, just the opposite of this.
yes.
Do it.
Stop. Don't, dude. Look at Antonio Brown. Look what he's doing. Do you see this? Don't be him.
It's the man that was worth $80 million a year and a half ago, and now no one wants to pay him.
Yep.
yeah.
What did he do?
Don't.
He's just an
What
idiot.
didn't he do?
What didn't he do?
He was at the Patriots. Didn't he call Kroger like a pedophile or something?
Kraft.
Just stole
Yeah,
it?
he called the owner of the Patriots like a pedophile or something.
Well, that's kind of
Yeah.
insane.
It's a good move.
Like
He-
5
he
days
was-
with the team.
Dude, he was screaming at a white cop on his yard, calling him the N-word in front of his children. Yelling at them they don't make any money, that he makes all the money, and that
Oh my god.
That motherfucker is crazy, but
no.
he's a damn good
They're
ball
on
player.
top, and they're like, no, sorry.
Great
He
golf
got,
player.
he got a concussion and at least some kind of like spirit that possessed his brain. But this is the same dude that like showed up to his first like spring practice in a hot air balloon.
That's
All right,
yeah.
That's some baller shit.
There's some
Everyone
How do you
redeeming.
even find a hot air balloon? Like,
As you see a hot air balloon slowly descending towards the field.
like imagine he like spent like a week like going out of his way to find someone that had a hot air balloon in his area. It's like anyone. I just you have to go to like the Netherlands at this point to get someone with a hot air balloon.
I think the most impressive fact about you can't control a hot air balloon. I mean, he had to look at the weather.
That's
and then
true.
think,
Yeah,
oh,
it just
that's-
goes wherever it's gonna go. If you don't have ballast,
like,
you're out of it.
3 days in advance, he was just checking the weather nonstop. Just all right, I'm gonna have to go from this
That was
parking
the
lot.
rookie's signing bonus check. He decides, you know what? I just got this check 2 weeks ago. Hot air balloon entrance.
We're Wizard of Ozing this shit, and I'm going in.
It makes sense.
Yeah, AB's a dumbass.
Oh
Yeah,
my
he's
god.
a fucking. Yeah, he's
He would
just-
have to rent it like 2 months in advance. Like, how do you know that day would be like suitable
He did
for
it.
a hot air
He did
balloon?
it. And then all the Raiders players were just like, "Fuck this guy." After it happened, they immediately the locker room immediately turned on him when it happened.
Oh my god.
After he
Did he at
came
least,
in in a
like, zip
hot air
line
balloon.
down, or did he like wait for the entire
Why are you
balloon
like?
to
Who are you
land?
trying to impress? You're just trying to impress like your fellow players who are also super rich. Like,
Yeah, I could have done that too, but I didn't feel
Yeah, we
good
all
about
could have
that.
showed up in hot air balloons.
But you
like
did
if I was practicing, I'd just be like, "Dude, what the fuck? Like, this is practice.
We're 20 minutes into the first practice, Antonio. What the fuck are you doing?
What are you like? You trying to show us up? Like you're the big man in the locker room now? Like what?"
Look, why a hot air balloon? Like, how is that a flex? I just don't understand.
That wasn't
like,
the only crazy thing he did too. He would do that like several times for different like training camps and stuff. He was crazy, man. Still is crazy.
Pretty cool though.
Although apparently he's on an apology tour now, so we'll see how this goes. He's trying to get back in the NFL.
Oh, he's out.
Yeah, of course he's out. He got kicked out. And he's
Sorry.
burned so many bridges with like different owners and stuff. Like, there's no way he's getting back.
Is he like the Tekashi 6ix9ine of NFL? Is that what he is?
Kind of. I'd say worse. I'd say worse too. He's done some bad stuff, man.
Yeah.
Really, really bad things.
The
What do
transcripts
you
were
do
horrible.
after that? Something like that? Do you just go to like an Applebee's?
for Antonio Brown.
Oh my god, I forgot his. Oh my god, I forgot that he gave himself frostbite just so he didn't have to play for that team.
What?
He did.
He gave himself frostbite on his feet just so he didn't have to play a season game for the Raiders.
What?
I felt so bad for that team. If you listen to that conversation where fucking Gruden calls him up, just like, Tonio, for the love of God, just for 5 fucking seconds, like, just stop being a baby. Just like I want you. Like, he's like, you're a good wide receiver. I want you on the team. Stop fucking up. Like, Gruden
Oh
was
my
so
God.
done with his shit. It was hilarious.
Yeah, like he went to like one of those little like rehabilitation things, and he put his feet in for too long, gave himself frostbite. He tried to say that the helmets the NFL using were too
Oh my
unsafe.
God. Yeah.
And so he literally had engineers, design like 3 brand new prototype helmets for the dude, and then like a month later, he's like, "I'll just use the regular one."
I can't tell you how many times that actually happens in real work. Like,
Yeah.
as one of the most common things and most frustrating things.
Like hundreds of thousands of dollars of productivity was lost on these helmets that he just like. It was just yeah.
Right.
What an asshole.
He probably saw the price for the tooling and was just like, nope, I'm all set. I'm not going to do that.
Let's see here. I like, okay, so I want to point out that there's a podcast discussion point that's just straight up, when can we socialize again? When can we try to fuck again? I'm going to research updates on this.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure Boateng was pretty drunk when he was writing these.
Oh my god.
How do you go about researching that? Like,
Yeah.
when can we fuck again?
Should we call Boateng and he
Google.
could tell us about it?
Oh my god.
different MSN articles. There's research to be had there.
Yeah.
Oh, and I like the next bullet point as well. Tommy, if you would read that very next bullet point.
Music news, Doja Cat promised to show her boobs if her song hit #1. It did, and she didn't.
She fucking lied. She lied.
That's about some culture.
Yeah, we talked a lot about simp culture.
Oh Lord.
It's bad, bro.
It's bad, and it feels like it kind of popped up overnight.
No, it's been around for a
Nah.
while.
no.
It
Look
used
at-
to be called
just look
White
at what-
Knights, though. That's the thing.
Look
is,
at
like,
everything Belle Delphine has been doing for like years, and yeah, you'll
Yeah.
see that shit didn't come up overnight.
Well,
Oh,
we
look
always
at
just
Andy.
called it white knighting, but now it's called simping.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like simp came out of nowhere. That was
Yeah.
like way out of
The
left
word,
field.
yes, the word came
That's
out
what
of
I'm
nowhere.
saying.
but
The word came out of nowhere.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
it
yeah.
act
makes
itself has
sense.
been going on for probably
The dawn
since
of man. Yeah.
the 1800s. Yeah, that's
Oh, I did think of a good stream title that involves simp, by the way. Any of us, whoever streams next, can use it. It's from simp to pimp in 5 easy steps. That's the stream title. Or I
good
also
one.
wanted to go simpin' and easy, but that that's probably been used. But the other one was simp to pimp. I feel like that's a good one.
someone's gonna get offended
I
by
think
that.
a great video idea would be Anthony trying to do giving dating advice as a
Oh my god, that would be a
might be the greatest
disaster.
idea I've ever had in my life.
I'd love to see it.
Yes, let's do it.
He wouldn't go on the e-girl date.
Yeah,
though,
we
so I
can't
doubt
convince fucking Anthony to do anything.
Yikes.
Matt convinced him to stop jerking off. I mean, that's a testament.
Yeah,
to
he
God,
took
right?
that
Did
as
he,
gospel.
Did he though? Did he stop?
Diddy though.
No, I 100%
Does
believe
anyone
it.
really?
I legitimately think he stopped.
Yeah.
Fucking Matt.
What did Matt say to convince him of that?
I don't know.
You gotta keep those balls full.
Full.
Fill them up.
I need those things to start looking like grape. Boy.
Oh, Lord.
And then-
Maximum
Yeah.
testosterone.
When you go out, you'll just have to figure out something. I think there's
Okay,
there's truth to it though.
Yeah, this is Tekashi69 pissed on about this week's latest billboard. I'm assuming that's a typo
Yeah.
because that's
He was pissed off.
We already
It's
covered
always
that in our podcast, Boating and Hunters No Name Podcast, episode 2, now on YouTube.
There it is. There it is. Find out more there.
Jesus.
Jesus Christ. Wait, so
So
why
it's
is
not like we
our
can
list?
podcast points so that we don't overlap with what you guys
Yeah,
talk
as I
about.
say, I'm
Yeah.
like, why is our list the same as the other list?
There definitely needs to be separate lists.
This is
Separate
this is a
lists.
disaster.
Very simple fix. Just do 2 lists.
Okay, everybody.
Right. My God, you've done it.
Keep roasting them.
We can
We
go back
fixed
to
it. We
Biden
fixed
for
the
a
podcast.
second.
Talk about ray tracing again.
So Tara Reid, the person that's supposedly been touched by Joe Biden inappropriately, apparently supersedes the actress Tara Reid now on Google results. So you basically she's more popular by this one event than Tara Reid's entire acting career.
Well, I think
It's a hot point, but it's like
I mean,
right.
dude, campaign years, bro. All gloves are taken off.
It's so
God, what a
bad.
shit year already. I can't
I know, it's kind of
like it's
insane.
already been a shit year, and when we get closer to November, it's just going to be so much shittier, and it's just fuck,
Yeah.
dude. 2020,
Yeah.
man.
I'm just the only thing that I'm holding on to for hope are just the amazing 2020 election memes, dude. They're gonna be so great.
I don't want
It's
them
gonna be
either.
nuclear.
Depressing.
It's gonna be nuclear.
Yeah,
I already
they're
lived
gonna
through one meme war. I can't do another.
Oh my god.
You're going to, and you're
Dude,
gonna
this
like
is
it.
gonna be fucking meme war 2020, the electric boogaloo.
Just embrace it. Start adding to the meme. Make your own memes, Hunter.
Start sharpening sticks in my office. Just
Yep.
getting ready.
Man. Imagine
The
Pepe
memes
faces
have
all over
evolved.
them.
The memes have had 4 years of incubation, and they are ready.
Oh,
oh
God.
my god.
There's this huge repository of Russian memes that's just meant
Yeah,
to
right,
like,
like,
and they're
just,
just
like,
gonna
working
release
around the
them on.
clock.
Oh my god! Like, I'm just,
Oh my god! You know the scene from Chernobyl where the guy goes and shakes everyone's hand and says "For Soviet Russia." That's going to be each of the memes they send over.
Oh my god.
No.
Thank you for serving the
Yeah,
Soviet
there's
Union.
gonna be another Chernobyl, but just like memes and stuff. and
Right.
They're all gonna be sitting in a basement, just like, my God, what have we done?
The
Literally
meme
won't be able to
reactor.
Go on the internet
It's
for like
exposed.
25 years because
It's
it's
melting
just
down.
like,
You've killed all these
the
people.
only way you can see anything if there's
They
a
don't
meme
know
involved.
yet.
It's all contaminated.
God.
Everything
Oh,
about
God.
this makes me
I'm
more
gonna
upset.
burn my computer in the backyard before
Oh, my
October.
I just want to see what a train wreck of an administration it is. Like a Donald Trump that knows he can't get elected again. Like this is it. Like he doesn't have to worry about it anymore. Like I want to know.
That's not true. Donald Trump is definitely going to win.
Well, absolutely.
It's not even a question.
He's going to win, and it sucks. But like, imagine him after he wins. Like he knows that he can't get elected again, and he's just going to do all this shit.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just going to be like a disaster. 4 years of just hell.
Yeah.
He's just gonna be like, fuck it. I don't fucking care. Who do I have to impress?
Yeah. Fuck themselves.
I had to pretend. He had to pretend like he cared for a little bit, but now he's whatever.
Right.
Start killing people on the White House lawn.
I can't wait. Day one of his re-election, he gets up. Just straight up, aliens are real. Just straight up, doesn't give a fuck.
Aliens are real. Barack Obama was a lizard. Do what you will with that information.
Yeah,
We have the files to prove it.
Oh, God.
I'm not supposed to say this. Australia legitimately doesn't exist, and it's just like, what the fuck?
We've been sending all of you to New Zealand.
The Great Barrier Reef is actually off the coast of Florida.
Fucking deal with that.
Lord of the Rings completely CGI.
Oh my god.
No.
I've used the White House time machine 16 times while in office, and I'm not telling you where I went.
Fuck it. You can figure that out on your own.
Yeah, figure it out. Read a textbook.
What is history? Yeah.
The Earth's actually flat. He hits you with that. Just like it's just like.
The Bible's just got like Trump on it.
Who? All right, Donald Trump is definitely going to win 2020 without a question.
Absolutely, you can't. Yeah, Biden has no chance.
And then what's going to happen in 2024? What is going to happen?
The United States will no longer exist in 2022.
Is that what it is?
It's going to be the Trump.
I don't know. I think we're gonna like regress back to just like the most white bread old men again. Because I just like, how do we like? Because there's just people are so disgusted at this point. Like we have to go back to the most normal, boring.
Is the cat out of the bag?
Literally rises from the dead and fucking.
I feel like the cat's out of the bag, but like everyone's too lazy to do anything about it.
Well,
right.
I mean, Ronald Reagan was kind of Donald Trump, but Donald Trump is like a much more white trashed Ronald Reagan. So like, we've kind of been down this road before, but I don't know. Like if The Rock goes and tries to really get elected president, like I think like a governing body in America is just a joke at this point. If that's the case,
right?
Like, fuck you.
Well, is The Rock
if you're listening, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, fuck you. Do not run for president. Just stop. You're already famous. Stay there. Like, Jesus Christ. Why the fuck do you think you deserve to be president?
Wow.
What the fuck? Oprah, too. Fuck you, Oprah.
Yeah.
But Kanye West though, that's fine. I'm cool.
No, dude, oh my god.
He's building his compound in Wyoming. He doesn't have time to be president.
Is he actually like starting a cult in Wyoming?
Dude, have you seen the compound?
No, I have not.
It's very impressive.
The videos are very impressive.
Oh my god.
Yes. It's a really interesting looking structure.
Is this like a new Branch Davidians bullshit?
Dude, it looks like it looks like. Did you ever see that video where they poured the molten metal down the ant hill and there's like chambers and stuff? He's building like underground chambers that aren't like, they're not like square rooms. They're like earthen caves that he's building for people.
He's literally building a procedurally generated dungeon for all. It's like to be a real life roguelike, and you go in there and like
so. I googled this Kanye Wyoming compound. The first result: Kanye West's Wyoming compound will have a urine garden.
Yeah.
What is a urine garden?
Excuse me.
Yeah. It's where you recycle everything. It's
all right.
Call it.
Then that's cool. Then yeah.
A compost pile.
God, all of it's about the fucking urine.
What?
Everything's about the urine. 3 pages in, it's just all about the urine.
Lots of pee-pee.
Lots of pee-pee. Kanye West, peas and garden.
But he's making like a whole compound for like artists and like creative minds. Like,
it could be cool. What
do you have to do to be part of the Kanye compound?
I don't think I want to be part of the Kanye compound.
I don't know. I might want to be part of the Kanye compound.
I'm just imagining every contract you have to sign where it's like, okay, any music released here, you get a royalty. Yeah. Page 5, you get my firstborn daughter. Like, what? Kanye, what the fuck's part of this concert?
If I lose my foot, you get to eat it? What?
What is this sentence saying that every single bit of water, both drinkable and that we bathe in, has to have your urine in it, Kanye?
There's a line in the contract that you have to admit that the Phantom Menace was like the best Star Wars movie. Literally sell your soul on every level. It's like
Jar Jar Binks is here with us.
You have to do a China Cares YouTube video.
oh my god.
God, that
I
shit's
wonder if like
disgusting.
Jay-Z will start doing like kick his title thing and like make his own title compound with all his label people, and they'll just have like a rival compound like battle.
That makes me very, very wanting an anime where it's a post-apocalyptic world after the nuclear fallout and only rappers exist afterwards, and how amazing that's going to be.
Oh shit,
Rapper
dude!
warlord
We should pitch that to Netflix.
That
Right.
sounds amazing.
Kanye's compound post-apocalypse.
Oh,
The,
my God.
the only civilization still alive is just Kanye's compound, and he's just like God.
See,
Oh,
I
man.
told y'all, God didn't like people outside this compound.
Oh my god. I am the second coming.
Kanye slowly becoming Negan from The Walking Dead is a character arc that I need, dude.
Oh my god. I think isn't he already though? Like he just doesn't have the zombie apocalypse happening behind
That's
him.
fair.
Well, there's time.
Yeah, that's fair. Oh my god. I'd be so down for that. What is this? So okay, I said this earlier. Why is Tekashi 6ix9ine pissed about last week's Billboard?
It's something about like after he got released from jail, his like single that he released hit like 400 something million views and got the #1 spot, and then I think Billboard didn't want to recognize it because it wasn't like single sold; it was single streamed. And
It was some fuck shit. They took away. He should have been #1, but he didn't get it. And it's fucked up because it's like, are they messing with the numbers to make certain artists seem like they're popping off right now?
I mean,
To, like, sort of
yeah,
manipulate.
Yeah, that's what everyone
Yeah,
does.
but this was
basically.
pretty much definitive proof of it, and Tekashi went on Instagram and basically called him out for it. So
Gotcha.
Does this Justin Bieber had $600,000 worth of fake album sales? How does that happen?
yeah, there's a lot that goes into it. Obviously there's some shady shit going on here that needs to get looked into, because they are manipulating like the music industry to make certain superstars seem much larger than they actually are, and it works. Because
Twitch is doing the
whoever's
same
at the top,
thing. So
whoever's at the top, they're gonna get those numbers. They're gonna come.
Right.
People are gonna, because they want to hear the top music.
right. Yeah, I mean that's Twitch. Twitch literally does the same things with their streamers. They actually inflate the numbers for them and stuff like that. Like they basically they put them ahead of other streamers that have higher viewer counts, and like people assume that that's like the most popular person even when they're not. Like it's kind of insane.
Yeah, the movie industry does it really bad too. Like all those places that are like other review sites that are just like, here's a paycheck, give us 4 stars.
Right.
Dude, they do that practically for every product on Amazon.
Yeah, I think it's like if you can make money off of it, why not, right?
Yeah, is there that review? What's the car commercial where they're like, we have 19 years in a row of the JD Spielman fucking
JD Power Associates.
JD Power, and apparently you literally buy that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And actually, most of the awards are not even like actual like they're like after the first 90 days or whatever thing. Like it's like, oh, it's the best initial value, and it's only for like the first like 30 to 90 days of owning the car. That's like where they were like rated the car for. It's like what like what does that even mean?
Yeah.
Some fuck shit.
Yeah. Even if it was a real award, it would mean nothing.
You guys ever watch? There's some columnist for Vice that's kind of like a trickster in the UK, and he ended up like opening a restaurant, or in his backyard, he opened up a restaurant on Yelp, and it got voted like
Oh yeah.
he got it
yeah.
up to the #1 rated restaurant in Yelp, and it's like just he served people like microwave food in his backyard.
Yeah, he had like lemon. It was like a lemonade stand with like microwaved food.
Yeah. That's all that shit is, dude. And he talked about like he got inspired to do it by like getting hired to write fake Amazon reviews, and just fucking everything on the internet is just a lie when it comes to reviews. It's just whoever pays for them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he talked about like he got inspired to do it by like getting hired to write fake Amazon reviews, and just fucking everything on the internet is just a lie when it comes to reviews. It's just whoever pays for them.
Yeah. All right. I haven't watched the Louis C.K. special yet. I need to do that.
It's fucking
Do
good,
you
dude.
have a new one?
Fuck, he's a fucking slayer. He leaves it all on the table, dude.
That's good. That's honestly what he needed to do. If he wanted to move forward and maintain this career, that's what he had to do.
Yeah, he.
That's fair. Yeah.
Nobody would pick it up. So, and I mean, typically Louis, historically has been on his website. He releases his specials for like $5, so it wasn't anything too crazy. But if you go to his website, you can buy it for I think $5, and the whole thing from start to finish is a fucking banger.
Oh shit! I'll have to check that out. I feel like Midnight Gospel's really good, but I feel like if you're not in the stoner culture, you won't appreciate it and probably won't watch it.
Yeah.
I mean, isn't Midnight Gospel? I believe it was this dude's podcast, and they just like kind of animated towards it a little bit. I think is what they did.
I don't even know what you're talking about, to be honest with you.
That's a Netflix show. It's like this weird, goofy animation show. It's pretty funny. Like it's good. I enjoy it. I don't see a lot. It's got a lot to do with like Buddhism and like a lot of introspection and like weird shit. But like goofy animations are going on the entire time. I don't know. It's a really good idea for a video. It's just weird to me that that's a Netflix series and not like a YouTube series.
I feel like Netflix wants to kind of be YouTube in some way. Like they want to catch that crowd of like the people that are watching just little segments of shows. And
They're
stuff
bringing
like that.
a bunch of kid oriented creators on YouTube. They're bringing them onto Netflix now.
Oh, really?
Netflix just signed on a bunch of like what you were just saying, like kind of like little skits shows. That like it's so crazy because like Netflix is bringing in YouTube, Spotify's bringing in YouTube, and YouTube is just kind of like, fuck you guys. Like,
YouTube's actually trying to aim for Twitch right now. They just added subs. Like you can get paid subscriptions basically for YouTube channels now.
Here's the thing, though. What is their excuse for not having had that 2 years ago or 6 years ago?
I think they
or
were thinking
9 years ago. It was just in TV. Like innovate yourself. Like I understand it doesn't make you a lot of money, but innovate yourself, dude, so you make money.
I think they were relying too heavily on ad revenue at the time. Like
all these websites are just
be
melding into one. We're just going to have one ultimate website eventually.
It's going to be so gross. It's going to be China owned. Like all of our ID, it's going to be like Social Security to log in.
Well, actually, I wish they did Social Security login because then fucking cheaters would be like a thing of the past, basically.
That's how it is in South Korea, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's insane.
But if you were given like one online ID and you couldn't play that game online anymore if you got caught cheating, I feel like it would just cut down on so many people.
I would like it if the first username you chose, though, you had to stick with for the rest of your life.
Oh my god, I would be.
Everyone's going to be some edgy like middle school like XX like Scope 69 your mom XX or some stupid bullshit. And that's your username. You're like 40 years old. You're trying to play with your kid, and then you're like, oh fuck, like. All right, buddy, you going to be XX Scope your mom 69-1.
Or junior or something. I don't know. I'm glad you can change your name. I've never been more grateful for a feature in my life.
I don't want to be Expressed Spice for the rest of my life.
I think my name was Durabright 7, and that's because we had a Durabright printer.
Oh man!
I was sitting at my dad's desk, and I was trying to think of a name, and I was like looking into space, and I looked at the printer, and it was Durabright, and I was like, that's my name. I'm Durabright.
Very nice.
I thought that was a type of sponge.
It sounds like a cleaning product for sure. Yeah.
It sounds like some shit you have to mine a Terraria to get the drill.
Maybe yeah.
Well, it was a shimp printer in 2004, so.
Was it neither durable nor bright?
No, it was a piece of shit.
Gotcha. Yeah.
That's such a weird choice.
I'm glad you named yourself after that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, you know what I want to represent me and everything I do? How about this shitty ass budget?
I couldn't figure out a name because I was a child.
That's fair.
So whatever. Make fun of me, internet. I have a sauna.
Do you have a sauna? But he doesn't have a green screen, and he doesn't have ray tracing, so...
Yeah.
Whatever. Jesus.
Focusing on the important things.
None of the important stuff.
All right.
All right, lads. Well, I think that might do it.
Yeah, that was about
For-
2 hours.
Sick.
Yeah, right?
That was a grind right there. But we were having a good time. I hope you guys enjoyed listening. Check out the, Hunter and Andrews No Name Podcast.
Boateng and Hunter's No Name Podcast.
Excuse me. Go check that out. It's on its own YouTube channel. Check out the videos on the Brig. Check out the streams. Coding 420, TF Ocelot, Crash Carl, 2 H's, and Captain Milne. Fuck Kalen.
Somebody, please, fuck Kalen.
Right. He needs it.
Somebody come get him.
He needs a strong, independent Iowan girl to just...
Yeah.
Or dude.
Yeah, excuse me. Or gentleman. And he's just, he's a horny corn boy right now.
Never experienced so much corn in my life, and I don't know how to organize these feelings.
This
makes
corn
you
just
erect.
makes me so horny. That's why I go back to Nebraska so often, dude. That corn lust.
Oh my god.
Really
Corn
stiffens the air.
All right, guys. Well, check us out everywhere: Spotify, YouTube, iTunes, or Apple Music. It is now, I think.
Ryan, did you just throw up the white power symbol?
Ryan. Okay. See you guys in the next one, guys. Jesus Christ. Really big shout out to our Patreon supporters: KLSK1, Garrison Coley, True X23, Ziggy Storm, Senpai Gray, and Lieutenant Dan. Appreciate your support. We couldn't do this without you guys.